the circle because you're not so central to the map, but getting, you know, all threes if you can ideally get it, or, you know, at least a decent rifle, maybe a Kar 98, something to supplement each other. I'll take that gamble. Whereas others go for that high kill, high value sort of gameplay that we might see coming through.
See, I'm on the opposite end of the stick there, and I feel a bit bad now. I am a Pachinki player. I will happily drop in a city.
I don't like you.
And chill. Well, that's fine. I'll take it. I'm going to be sat on a roof waiting for you to walk by with an M16, and I'm going to pop you in the head with an air
No one likes you.
No one likes me. But hell, if it wins and it gets someone, then happy days. But on the opposite side of it, as you mentioned, where the circle's going to be, I'm a bit of a personal fan of being in the center of the map, being in the center of the island, and thinking, okay, so circle, no matter where it drops, I'm in easy accessibility of it. And once you, and sometimes it does go wrong, just like everything else does, but if you clear Pachinki, you've got mets. All right, yeah, I agree. You're only going to get a level 2 helmet. You're only going to get a level 2 chest.
Right.
But you're going to get banged up on meds and the odd Kar 98 here and there.
Because you're going to have to use those meds to get out of Pachinki. So by the end of it, you've got a bandage and maybe a Red Bull if you're lucky. For me, there's no longevity to it. I don't like it, but prove me wrong. I'd love to be. But still, no, actually, speaking of that, just so you guys know, this is on a LAN client, so it's a different client, essentially, what you guys play at home. Just small differences, but it is LAN ping, which is awesome. Feels slightly different, so you might see those shots that you always think should hit, actually hit, you know, one of those sort of moments there. Also, a quick note, the red zone is off. Everything else is, you know, pretty much the same. The settings also will all be basically uniform. Every single player will play on the same settings. Textures on high, foliage medium. Every single player will play on the same settings. Now, the textures on high, foliage is allowed as well. But you have to do it through your own mechanical skill. It can't be binded as well in this tournament. But you have to do it through your own mechanical skill. But it's just so that you can play in this to come through, so everyone knows small differences. But it's just so that you can play. Keep that in mind going into this. Knows everything else is going to be pretty much as you keep that in mind going into this. This is what I like about this game. Everything else is going to be transferred through, and I think we'll see a very, very good game. So this is what I like about this game.
Guys, well, we are getting this one server booted up and ready to rock and roll. We are going to guys, well, we are
edge player than say perhaps someone who plays the center of the circles.
I usually end up on the edge more. Yeah, I'm more comfortable. I just like being. I get really impatient. Even in Counter-Strike, I'm a very mobile person, so being stuck in like one spot, I just get antsy, and then I'm like, yeah, it's not good. So I like being on the edge.
If there's any player here that you're the most afraid of, especially in this solos game, who would that be?
It'd be my teammates. They know exactly where I like to go. I usually call the drops for our team as well. So it really sucks. Having three other people know exactly where I'm most likely going to land because I tell our team where to go all the time. So those are the players I'm most scared of because I know one of them is going to find me and it's going to suck.
Now, because of that, do you think you're going to be able to maybe play them, but like, oh, they think I'm not going to go there, so I'm going to go there? Is that are you going to do a lot of that, or not so much?
Honestly, no. I really like where I like going, and if they find me there, I'd rather just fight one of my teammates than another person here anyway.
What about squads? That's not until later on this week, but is there any full team that you're most worried about, or are you just kind of playing your own game, focused on your own, just squad play with the 4 of you guys?
I mean, to be honest, we've been kind of like caught up with our own Counter-Strike stuff at the moment. We're competing in another league for that. So it's not like we've had time to even really see any other teams like at all. So we have no idea what to expect. We've just been trying to play as much as possible, and that's as much as we can control.
So as far as you know, you could very much be the worst team here.
Absolutely, but we could be the best.
You also could be a best, you're right. There's a caveat, it's complete unknown. What about duos? Have you been practicing a lot of that, or is it mostly just squads and then solo?
Mostly squads, but we still duo a decent amount as well. I actually prefer duoing, but since we're a Counter-Strike team too, and we have so many of us, like, it feels more comfortable just to play squads. After, we play Counter-Strike the whole day, we end up, as a squad, usually just playing afterwards.
What about duos do you prefer then?
What'd you say? I'm sorry?
What about duos makes you prefer it over squads?
I think the pace of it's a lot better. I think like the fights are a lot cleaner. In squads, it's a little unrewarding sometimes because there are so many people that can pick you up. You don't get punished as hard for mistakes, which is good and bad, right? Like sometimes you make a mistake and there's 3 other people that can pick you up. Where in duos, it's just one other person, and I think the fights are a lot more engaging and a lot more high risk, high reward.
Well, thank you very much. That's going to be it for you. Thank you for chatting with us. This was Flom but Mythic, and now we should be close to getting into our very first game. So let's bring it back to Pansy and Sims there at the desk.
Thank you very much indeed, Cameron. Now, You kind of heard Flom there, Pansy.
See, I think he's underselling this, right? So in Season 2, Flommen's squads was like... Look, I've been doing this the whole time. So, like, this guy's hitting 2.3 elo. He's a decent player, right? And the entirety is the same for the rest of the team. What, 50% top 10 rating as well, over 100 matches played. This guy is not bad. You know, this is the thing. As much as you may say, oh, we could be the worst team, we could be the best, I've got a very specific play style, all of this, he's still very good. So do not underestimate them at all coming into this. As said, the other thing he brought up was he's got that favorite route, and I love that. I love the way you get to see players' personalities and how they like to approach the game and how they have to vary that on the drop. So again, lots of players, lots of opinions, and it's always good to hear different ones.
Unless they're landing in Pachinki, of course.
Yeah, they can die in a fire.
Well, I know where I stand then on that one. We'll see how it goes, though. We will be getting this game underway very, very shortly, guys. But for now, we do have a video to show you at home. We grabbed a load of the players before this event kicked off, and we sat them down to get their thoughts on Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. Check this out.
The best thing about PUBG is winning games. The rush you get is so addictive. You just want to win every game you can, and it doesn't get old. There's so many different ways to do it.
Best thing about PUBG is just the adrenaline rush you get. You have one life, and if you mess up, you're out. Gotta wait for the next round.
That you have one life, and if you make a mistake, it's over.
The variety of weapons and just how different every game is going to be.
The end game and how every game is a overtime round 9 situation whenever you get there.
Every match is different for the most part. Like a lot of events will be similar, but pretty much every match is different.
No matter if it's game number 100 or 1,000, it's every time exciting.
The competitive aspect of it, and one team or one guy being alive at the end.
It can be intense at any second.
The amount of replayability it has, and the fact that it's an early access title that's getting updated consistently.
The action, you could jump straight in, shoot everybody. It's good fun.
I don't know, there's so much thrill to it.
The randomness, you know, you never get the same battle more than once. There's always something new every time you go in.
How random it is.
Every single game is different.
The adrenaline you get from winning a game.
The adrenaline rush you get in the top 10.
Outplaying your opponent.
Chicken dinner, of course.
The best thing about PUBG is seeing these children drop to the school and get a headshot by double.
My playstyle for the most part is somewhat more defensive.
Aggressive and arrogant.
I like to take things slow, safe, and more about positioning than going for first kills.
Slow and methodical.
If I'm on a winning streak, I'm playing aggressive, I'm feeling good. Or just the odds are against me, and I'll start playing much more passively and just trying to avoid those gunfights. And I'll start playing much more passively and just trying to avoid those gunfights.
I would say defensively aggressive.
The entry fragger for our squads if we're like taking a building or something like that.
Probably very passive and strategic.
Semi-aggressive, I'd say.
My playstyle, sporadic, headache-inducing, fast, but hopefully accurate.
Aggressive when I need to be.
Aggressive, kind of dominant. I like to intimidate other players. I like to let them know that I'm there, and I just like to go after them.
Passive-aggressive. I like to take a tactical approach, so I like to put myself in a position before engaging fights.
Tactical.
My playstyle is pretty tactical, but then I rush people when I need to.
Very aggressive. Conservative in the beginning, and then super aggressive towards the end of the game.
Very tactical and silent.
My playstyle is very aggressive, though when this strategically is the right move, I also like to camp.
My playstyle is aggressive.
Very aggressive.
My playstyle is pretty tactical, but then I rush people when I need to.
Very aggressive. Conservative in the beginning, and then super aggressive towards the end of the game.
I like to get aggressive, I like to play methodical.
If no one said with speed, power, and momentum, I'm a little disappointed. All right, the doctor, you know, he's got it right. He's got it right. Now, I like aggression. Me personally, I love it. I think calculated aggression in the right places will catch people off here. People are terrified to actually make these plays. Third person doesn't allow it so well because they can hold angles that means that they're safe to it. So making aggressive moves might be a little tricky. But if they find a way to do it, if they're smart, there's many approaches. We were discussing it yesterday. We had the smoke discussion, for example, covering your steps with slight movement changes that you can do. Even if you jump a couple of times, you can basically muffle the sound of how close you're getting as that little bunny hop can kind of propel you forward. So again, there's a lot of ways to play this out of this game, and I love the fact that there is that variety there.
And of course, the meta is starting to, I say meta, it's things are starting to change up. Things are starting to evolve as we go further into this game. We mentioned the smokes. Like, rather than it being something of a screen to hide your body, it now becomes a screen. You put it down on the floor, it hides the sound. So you can enter a door, you can bust in, you can wander around, you can charge a set of stairs, but all they can hear is the hiss and the hum of the smoke.
And in first person, for me, one of the biggest skills within first person, and a bit of a change, I guess you could say to a degree, is the fact that sound becomes paramount to your ability to survive and play out the game. A lot of people will literally hold positions for a couple of seconds, wait for those steps, and then play off the back of it. With what you can do with smoke, for example, is a big changer for you being able to take houses or move into pre-held likely positions. Whereas third person is very hard to approach that. So again, it's going to be slight changes. I think personally, I do believe that Cloud9 are probably going to be a little bit ahead of the curve on the third person. They've continued to play third person. The fact that they're big fans of it. Again, they're very, very vocal on that. You heard Chappie discussing how he likes to play it. Does play very well to it. A very, I think, Kingsman player. But the problem with Cloud9 is one of their standard players didn't quite make it. So again, a new composition that could definitely hinder them in squads. But for now, they're in they're in solos. You'll see them do well. And if they play their normal game style, you're going to see pretty good results from them.
You mentioned over that one play, unfortunately, that was Crunch, and he's going to be replaced out by Borg. But another team we also have to look forward to is Luminosity Gaming. You got to remember, this team, it came second at DreamHack Atlanta in the H1 and Z1, and obviously they came third at the Crown Invitational. That same squad of four is stuck together. So this has, in a third-person environment, this is a tried and tested roster.
Now, I actually want to go down that road of having the same four as well, and how the team dynamics work. They're going to have a lovely team dynamic. They understand how each other play. They understand how to work from that. That's going to be almost intrinsic to them by this point. But then, for example, TSM, when you watch them practice, obviously they stream themselves, TSM. They don't have a defined in-game leader, which is something very common within these teams. Flom, for example, does call the drops right now for Mythic, it seems, and maybe the root. But a lot of players just kind of go with the flow of a more dominant personality within the team. But there isn't defined in-game leader roles, which I think down the line will have to come through. Now, if that means that people become predictable or they can change up, that's a different factor. But at the end of the day, you need someone to take the reins.
Chào mừng các bạn đến channel. Hôm nay hello bạn. Hôm nay thì mình sẽ trực tiếp giải PUBG của giải quốc tế của đầu tiên của Player No Battleground. Thì thể thức hôm nay là thể thức solo ngày thứ nhất. Ok, mời các bạn xem vui vẻ nha.
Is that leader who sits back, checks all screens. All right, guys, how do we look on meds? How do we look on weapons? Who's got the Kar98? Can we switch up a level 3 helmet? Can we give it to the sniper so he can poke and he can pick and things like that? And I really do think that this is going to be one of those games where a coach will become absolute crucial and will need to know the game at a very, very high standard.
100%. Right now, I think another thing, just to explain to the guys at home if they're wondering how this works. So I think a couple of people have noticed the tweets going about how the observing's happening and how it all kind of like feeds it together. So a couple of players will be streaming themselves, so you can actually watch their stream as well. You'll be able to check them out. I think pretty much all the big streamers will have those streams open. Now they can't obviously see chat, they don't have notifications on, so there's none of that. But they can still provide you their personal perspective. However, we're going to have a lot of options, to say the least. 80 possibilities of just the players essentially being able to be picked from, so we can go directly to their feed, so we can have that here, we can see whatever we want. We also have the spec client, so there's plenty of opportunity to catch all the action. But you guys know how PUBG plays out, right? Like, I don't need to explain to people at home. These guys, you're the guys that end up killing me in the most horrible ways. Thank you for that. The point is that it's a lot of action. It can be very messy. It can be very fast. So, we have to get that flow right, get all the kills is the paramount thing and the most important thing. But it might take a little time to get that balance. So, feedback always welcomed on that front, of course. But yeah, you know how PUBG plays. If things kick off in Pachinki, Millibase, any of these hot spots, Georgia Pole, you know it's going to be bloody. We'll do the best we can, but it's a bit of a luck of the draw sometimes.
And that also goes for the casting as well. Any feedback in any way, shape or form is more than welcome. I've been checking out Reddit and
fabulous. Come on.
I'm not. You
Come
are.
On.
I'm just.
It's all good. We're fine, all right? Just never look at Twitch chat. They're very kind and loving. Please like us.
You've triggered them now. That's it.
No, I can just say the word Kappa and they'll forget everything, so it's fine. Don't you worry about it. But yeah, we are just waiting on this. You can see them now joining into the lobby. This is on the LAN client, so they're all going to jump into this. I'm going to try and keep track of every single sort of approach that the plane takes so we can reference it down the line. There's the campers coming in. The wave to clear out the chat. Isn't it gorgeous? But let's be honest here.
Nobody's broke the chain either. I'm impressed.
I'm so proud. And then the mod breaks the chain by adding words. How dare you do this? But no, we can start talking a little about these guys as well and who are weighing on and what we're going to be seeing. All right, I'm going to ask you a question because I've already asked it up chat. They've got involved. Who's going to win this?
Are we talking solos
just
or are we talking
solos? Let's just start in solos.
I am a Brick fanboy, so I'm going to go with
Brick?
Brick.
I have to give you some grief for the accent.
I'm a big Brick fanboy, and mainly because of his spray and kick control. Like,
dude, that spray control is nuts.
It's insane. Have you ever watched him when he puts the cam on his hand as well? Yeah. And you just watch the control.
It's the range that always kills me, right?
Yes.
It's so. I think every one of us has kind of tried the spray control thing. I'm a huge fan of it. That's why the vast majority of my play is relatively aggressive. It works out pretty well-ish. But the point is, like, for me, watching players like Shroud and players like Break, their play style and the mechanics are beautiful to watch. Yes. They have a very nice way of doing it. They both have this incredible spray control. Obviously, you kind of expect that from someone like Shroud when you're watching his stream. That's pretty natural to him, new spray patterns, of course. But it's the fact that he even changes to the things, for example, Break changes how he plays so well. Even when you get, so for example, if you get compensator, suppressor, vertical grip, angle grip, it changes how, not necessarily the spray works, but it changes slight elements of the pattern, because it may be tighter, it may be better, but it's still different. He's still damn good over range, and that's the thing that always blows my mind. You'll see him just able to use that scar at maybe 100, 200 meters, 300, comfortably spraying, and it's just like, how the hell are you doing this?
But he's not the kind of guy that will happily just rock up to a gunfight at the start of the game. He is a very much a player that will sit in the blue. He will sit in the blue, completely medded out of his mind, and then turn up to the lake, wait till a few people are down, turn up geared, and you know what, there is a lot to be said for rocking up completely geared out your mind. Fair enough. You do have to use your stick, you do have to use your Red Bull, you do have to use your first aids to get there, but turning up and waiting until people are a little bit tanked up, they've got some damage on their armor, you know, they're taking shots, and you're just rocking up, you've got the scar, you've got yourself a car, you're ready to go. And if you can just pick off these people on your way, find the circle campers who are just, the edgelords, they're sitting on the edge, they're just waiting and kind of crawling inwards, so to speak. If you can pick those off and then grab the meds off of them, take the Red Bulls, take the stims, take everything, and continue on forward. And this is kind of, you know what, you did word it perfectly, to be honest with you, Panzer. He is a man who can just adapt to any situation, and that's exactly what you need to do in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds because of the circle, because you don't know what loot people are going to have, you don't know what level they're going to, you don't know where people are necessarily going to be, and honestly, you just have to take every single moment as it comes.
So for example, on the other scale of things, we talked a lot about the AR players. There are riflers out there that prefer the Kar 98s, obviously any VSSs to a degree. Molman is one of the players I love watching as well for sniping, right? He's one of those players that, this is actually a discussion I brought up recently, is the Kar 98 actually alpha enough? At high elo games, no one sits still, and I hope we can get perspective in the game. This guy is a perpetual wiggler, is what I call it. He's literally doing the constant lean, so he goes back and forth. So hitting a headshot at any sort of range is actually pretty tough. So there's be small kind of nuances that I'm going to really enjoy watching being played out here.
Well, here's a question while waiting for to kind of get this underway.
$500 10 triệu, $5.000 là 100 triệu.
I still hate it. Really?
Yep.
I'm speaking to a few players.
Đó, 1 tỷ mấy đó, đúng rồi, 1 tỷ mấy đó.
1
tỷ 012 đúng rồi, đúng rồi.
You get a bit more oomph and a bit more power and a bit more accuracy behind it. Do you think it's become more of a viable gun?
Tôi thông cảm đi, tôi giỏi toán lắm mấy thế ơi.
If you want, yeah, I hate it. This is a personal thing. Stats-wise, it's
you enjoy
viable.
the VSS.
Look, VSS is the most underrated gun in the game, right? You can, one, see the traces, two, it's suppressed, 9mm is everywhere. It's such a nice little gun. It's a pocket pick for me, almost. That's why I like it. Now,
if you've got nothing else, yes.
I'd pick it over other guns on a regular basis.
Nói chung tổng giải thưởng này là $350.000 á.
I'll happily kick a VSS. But then again, unless I've got the extended mag, because you mentioned about seeing the bullet drop, seeing where the bullets are going. When you get that extended mag on, and you mentioned over there's been so much 9mm available, you can just keep pinging, and just shooting until that one player that you're looking at does go down.
Yeah, the thing is, right. Okay, so it's really hard to explain this because, like, in theory the SKS should be fine, but anyone who plays PUBG will realize, where does that second shot ever go? It's not on target, it never makes sense, and for some reason it vanishes. It is slightly better now, obviously, with the vertical or angled being able to be attached. It does become a little better. But you know, the MK14 to me is what I always wanted from the SKS, which would be OP, obviously, but the MK14 is absolutely lovely to play with. I'm a huge fan.
80 người là khoảng
that thing's a bit of a beast, but yeah, still not a fan of the SKS. But still, I'd like to see players using it. We saw it actually yesterday.
Nó chưa có ấy mà. Để chừng nào giải nó còn nói chuyện mà.
It's fine. Go for the headshot if you know you can land it. Why not do it? It's fine. It's just not my jam.
There are certain scenarios, and it is more than viable using the M16 with an 8 times the range. Putting single shot on the
M16 is lovely.
It's a cracking gun.
You can spam that thing like a champ as well. Suppressor on it, incredibly hard to put notice as to where it is. Again, guys, apologies for the delay. We're just getting everyone in. You can see them joining in now, so we should be getting things underway pretty soon. But yeah, as said, I think we're going to see a lot of that. You know, when you kind of watch the traditional tournaments or you watch streamers play, they get away with murder, right? You're playing against probably not the highest elo players, and it's not the most competitive thing for them. In this environment, everyone is a good player, so you're going to see things a little bit more refined, a little bit more calculated. And I think the M16, for example, as your almost fullback sniper, 4 times, 8 times, whatever you fancy on it, it works incredibly well. Put a suppressor on, it's outstanding. Obviously limited on the attachments, but it's still a great gun. I always love that as a fallback plan if I have to do it. But yeah, we'll see if it does become a bit of a factor. And let's bear in mind, we're 2,000 people away watching the stream from over 100k viewers right now. And that's only on Twitch. Bear in mind, we are live on a good couple of platforms, but it does seem as though the game is almost ready.
Còn Hyper không à, tại vì Hyper nó hỗ trợ cái âm thanh tốt hơn mấy thằng khác. Hyper ít thu tập âm đó.
And all you're going to be hearing are people just kicking the hell out of each
other
to get in the plane and start to dive out onto the island. Now, Pansy straight off the back. Can I get a guesstimate of where this plane is going to be coming in from? It's completely random. Go on, give me a guess. What do you think? Or what would you like to see?
For me, I want to just straight down the map, right?
Straight down the middle.
You know, north to south, everything's available and comfortable to go to. Or something incredibly polarizing. One safety go to or a likely go to when it goes over to Nova, and then over to George, you get the 2 kind of familiar. I'd like that. But who knows? This is all up in the air. No one's defining where these circles go, where the plane goes. This is what it's about. 4 seconds left, Sims. This one's about to kick off.
All up in the air. I like the pun there. You kind of dropped it in. I did catch it. So here we go then. And we are coming in from...
Dun, 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 dun. Just got to wait for the plane to appear on the map.
There it is.
Okay,
so things are available here. This is nice. All right. So for me, the big theory is how many people are brave enough to go Skull, Rozhok, maybe Milter. Eyes towards that, they'll be able to jump out any second. Now you've got Saverni up for grabs, and look at the drops coming in. Now we could see long swings to George, that's available. Even just by going default, you don't need to pop your shoot early on that.
Một số team đã nhảy từ ở bên
Saverni và
chắc khoảng cả 20 người.
But there's the spread. Let's see if we got some long shoots going on.
Ôi bay kìa. Ôi điệp mẹ bay kìa.
Few people dropping down in Saverni, everyone else spreading out across the map. Plenty of people moving over to George Towers as well on Upper George. There'll be plenty of loot for those people. Of course, you have the apartments.
Và có thể là cái team chia dài từ trên hướng Saverni dài thẳng xuống Mita Power. Rồi, trận chiến bắt đầu nha.
I think that was the last player to dive out.
I would like to see the guys who went towards Melter rather than looting there head towards the road, get a car, the likelier ones. It looks like Liquid and Cloud9 might be doing that, which is not too surprising, at least a couple of players, should I say. So keep eyes on Chappie and Molman.
Nhớ nha, đây là thể thức solo nha.
We'll see if they get in a car pretty soon and head that way. There's going to be a battle for the bridge.
Ninja picking up
có 71 mạng nha.
We'll see Spy Gia moving over to Lapovka as well, so good loot areas for those two players. Moving out kind of into no man's land, just above Yasnaya, but there is a couple of little cheeky hidden houses up there.
Yeah, the compounds you can work through will give you a decent enough loot. We're on board with Hotted right now. That's at the apartments. He's gone to the high value area. Risky play to begin with, bear in mind. No idea who's around you. He's still Uzi in the pocket, so at least he's got a little bit of kick to deny any quick hits coming through towards him.
Ê, ba lô, anh ta đã có ba lô. Ui, đạn kín quá trời, bao la mà bắn luôn anh ơi. Đây, nhân vật của các bạn nằm ở cuối màn hình. Góc trái màn hình đấy. Đẹp trai khoai to không? Anh ta đang làm được OMP9.
But he does pick up a level 1 bag, and that is pretty good early on, because the amount of times you won't find a bag, you have to leave the meds, you have to leave the Red Bull, you have to leave the stims and everything else that you find, because you simply cannot carry. We'll grab an ump as well, so he's going to put that on automatic and just try and bait anybody in. But there's no point in rushing apartments this early on unless you're just a bit of a wild and angry player.
But let's bear in mind, no one's actually died yet either.
No.
This is the difference. I think we've all seen hearing a couple of shots come through now, but the point is that normally in normal games, the high kind of areas of population will have deaths going on. You can see the safety that people are playing with, the mentality they're coming in with is passive, it's cautious, it's pretty calm for now. Level 1'd up now, just needs the vest to supplement it, get it going for himself. We can have a little look elsewhere, and actually we can start seeing down the line where that circle first will be defined towards.
I actually think it landed over Lepovka, if I'm not mistaken. We will bring up a map on the spectator mode in just a second to show you guys exactly at home and perpendicular where other people are going to be. There are a couple of people, I think it was Ninja going over to Mansion. If everyone's kind of gone over to that side of George, though, they're going to be meeting each other on the way over. If it is over on that side where Mansion and Lepovka, they're going to have to move on across and just unfortunately be managing each other. And there we go. So, not dead center of the map, just off to the right-hand side. But again, everyone on this 50%, everyone on the side, the D column, all the way on the left-hand side has to match one another.
So we also saw the winner of the race to Millie. There's a good couple of players landing down this way. It's Moleman who made it there. Obviously a liquid player, so he's going to have that all to himself. No one else has gambled on this, but then again, it could have been a limited car spawn. There may have only been one buggy or something along those lines. You've got to expect level 2s throughout minimum for this guy. Decent setup, everything else-wise. So there's not going to be much action on him, but he's going to be geared to the teeth, and the circle's not bad either. He might have to consider the cross back eventually. Boats could be a play for him down the line. Nice L 8 times. Not exactly what you want on a shotgun or your MP, but he's going to find a rifle pretty soon.
Yeah, I'll grab that rifle. There's always plenty of them down here, and when he does, did he please don't tell me there's left the meds? I didn't quite catch it. It was a little bit quick, but never mind. There's going to be plenty more down here in the Millie base. We'll try and hop on board with somebody else to show you exactly where people are spread out around, because he's just going to be down here. Easy loot for him, easy pickings. No one else to challenge him whatsoever, I don't believe. I think it was the first one there. Level 2, no helmet as of yet. But, oh, here we go. Now Dessa coming in. Will drop, so Drassel will be taken down. Drassel will be taken down. Adren takes out Hooksteven as well by an SKS, so Sniper already in play and in the hands of...
So not surprised to see those guys going for the aggressive kills to begin with. If, you know, the Adrens, the Flams, they like that play. Let's see, yeah, that was going down towards Rozhok, kind of a little compound to the east, a nice follow-up, a nice supplement to actually going through Rozhok. And you can see Lex and Adren are very near each other, so they clearly...
Chắc nhỏ quá, nó không nghe tiếng tôi nói gì.
Very farm as well. Lots of possible action here.
Để mình bật mic lớn lên nè, để coi ổn không. Tại vì nó ấy nó không có tiếng game. Ổn không, ổn không, check giùm tôi kìa. Tại cái này nó không như lờ thì mình có coi trực tiếp được, còn cái này mình phải coi mấy. Muốn cát lắm mà tại vì mình không biết tắt âm. Ok.
Now, Psy Syndicate was one of the original winners of the Survivor games, Mini and Moonagon on DayZ, bit of an armor classic as well. Bit, you know, abrasive in the community currently, certainly a little bit out there, but he's having the battle at the moment, just kind of on the that's just kind of on the side. That's just moving out by the first. That's just moving out by the first bridge. So again, going through the bandages, chunking through that, going to get his HP back up, and it looks as though he's in a bit of a fight on the other side as well. So that was the engagement that's defined this, but you can see already a bit of a passive move coming out, a readjustment from the other player, going to fall back, find a new angle to work from. Only a red dot. No additional zero in this, but you're going to see the shots coming through again. Not landing the shot he needs. He's actually been dominated in this one. Armor's still good, helmet's still good, but that AK is being put to work on the other side, it's winning out.
And that's going to be Mithrin from the Turkish team. Full Turkish squadron here.
Look, the chat have been going on about this guy, so I'm seeing why already. This guy is landing great shots, even though I guess you could argue that Syndicate has the cover to play in, a bit of a nuisance. That guy's dealing with it well.
But he's only got a red dot and an AKM. I mean, fair enough, you can make it work. However, I didn't realise on the opposing side of Mithrin, he doesn't have
đã chết cỡ cỡ 5 tên rồi. Ui, bắn red dot ảo vãi.
Pure aggression and pure braveness, as you mentioned, Pansy. Now he's going to go into the house. Just let him go with.
Coi lần sau mình thấy mình
have much ammo left. You can see it down to 5. You don't see much more there. So again, bit awkward for him. He needs to be a little bit careful on this one and how much he utilises.
Mình coi này xong mình thấy mình nhỏ nhoi với thế giới quá. Nó bắn kinh vãi ra. Và đây là ở military. Còn là quái nhân trong ấy không? Trong battleground. Ui, bo đã siết ở military rồi. Lại một em nữa nằm xuống. Và còn 65 tên. Đấy, dân chúng bắt đầu chạy bo đây. Ui, nhìn kìa xe nó lụm kìa. Ui, mấy thanh niên giờ còn lấy loot ở ngoài khúc Geboro nữa. Mình sẽ nói những khúc có giao tranh nha. Tại vì mình tắt tiếng bên ấy thì không nghe được tiếng súng, không ổn.
Cái win đâu rồi?
Thanh niên này là team Liquid nha.
Không có tiếng à? Có lỗi tiếng à?
Còn 64 tên. Cloud9, TSM, Liquid. Có một team của CSGO nữa. Thính là cái gì đây? M24, X8, Giáp 3. Ngon. Đây, thính đầu ngon nha. Thính thơm đó. Và có một thanh niên đang chạy tới. Ôi, đang giao tranh kìa. Có tên solo mid nữa. Đấy, em mới nhắc solo mid đấy. Không ai ở liên minh đâu. Thôi giờ mình xài UMP. Còn 62 tên nha bạn. Đã có 9 thanh niên bỏ cuộc rồi. Cái này thì đa số ở bên CSGO hoặc là những cái game FPS H1Z1 rồi người ta di chuyển qua đây nhiều. Solo trên liên minh là lấy gì qua đây mà bắn. Enel Boom. Ui, cầm anh ta nè, cầm danh nóc và cầm cái cây giảm thanh là làm đất gì đây? Anh ta theo chiến thuật là cam. Đây, anh ta đã nhảy khỏi nhà rồi. Mẹ anh ta đi đâu đây? Anh ta rảnh vả lờ ra. Đó, cắt xe trong nhà luôn, khổ của đó. Giang hồ nó hiểm ác ghê. Rồi, ok.
That was an absolute freebie. I'd love to see what was in that just for the sake of it, but still down the line that can be something to go back to. Chappie right now is what we got. Painkillers up, 3 helmet, M249. You know, it's
Vậy cái
a
thính.
light sort of gun, I guess. But still.
Level 1 on though. He has a level 2 helmet. But still, as you mentioned, level 3 though. It's the biggest upgrade you can get when you talk in terms about armor and such, but that feels really bad, man. That literally.
I was just talking about how good Boom is, and he's like, nah, I'm just gonna 4x3 this. He's obviously not in 4x3, as you can see, but you know, gotta love it. All right, readjustment shots coming through. Gotta be careful on this one. Nice adjustment though, good little hill cover, and he's gonna spot someone out. That's gotta be a kill every day of the week. What's going on here?
Ui bắn, ui rồi.
My word, and yeah. That was Stone Mountain taking down Boom. A bit of an awkward switch out there. Do excuse us on that one, but Boom did die. So the awkward switch, they're having the wrong gun out. That's a rookie error.
14 em bỏ cuộc.
That's the nerves, but here's Big Boy Break playing the Bushwookie. Break. Why do you like this?
He's just chilling. He's happy. He's going to put a lean on the side as well to make sure he's fully covered up. Put his bag in there and get himself tucked in. But yeah, you mentioned about Boom. He took the aggressive stance, 110%. He heard the dink on the car, so he dived out. It's like, all right, you're going to shoot at me, fam. I'll give you a piece of this. Unfortunately, Stone Mountain says, not today, my young child. Takes him down. He gets another kill. Unfortunately, he will be pushed back out to wait to the next server. Meanwhile, Break, well, he's just going to sit here. Why not? What gears he got? Let's have a quick look.
M416, full auto. He's fine enough here right now.
He's happy days.
So Shaq is one of the players you probably don't watch as often. Let's put it that way. But again, we'll see what he can bring to this. UMP looks relatively well geared. You'd hope so at this point. What is this play? And there's the guy coming back in from the island. So that's not too surprising. He's taken a long time to get back off this. He's going to be going chunked through. So hopefully he's given himself enough time to actually get back on this one. The blue is going to be doing a lot of damage at this point, and you're kind of banking on getting a car as well, which is the next layer to this strategy. The circle isn't perfect for him either, so you are hoping you find a car on this road. There are likely spawns, not 100% spawns. There aren't even them in there, but it's not even a high spawn chance at this point, so he's got to be very aware of that.
I'll tell you what, I'm really hoping he's got plenty of meds, because he's
có team Nhật nữa kìa.
When he approaches this island, unless he's got a car, he has got a lot of ground to cover. He absolutely 100% needs... Oh, a little bit of an engagement going on. We'll see Steve-O catching one player out in the open. We'll get some shots, try and tag him up. That one player is going to dive back behind a tree, and so be it. But yeah, you just look at that. One helmet and one chest. That could be dangerous, because that player's got an AKM. That is going to hit really, really hard. That helmet's going to get cracked. He's going to get taken down. Not entirely sure what the opposing player has.
It's not even about that. He's got the circle. That's the one bonus. If he has patience, Vicstar could be in trouble.
What the fuck?
On a followed shot where you can have perfect spray
lỗi.
as well, Vicstar. So a possibility, he's going to make the move. He knows he has to. The blue's going to come in, and a whiff. Steve-O hit the damn shot, my man. You had the angle. Vicstar's found new cover, adjusting slowly as he goes, but he does need to move eventually. He can stim through it. There's no rush, but if Steve-O has patience, the frag should be his.
I think he is as well, because he's checking all his corners, make sure no one's creeping up behind him, and so be it. He will opt to move down the hill now. I like this player get a little bit further in. If Vicstar hasn't seen exactly where he is...
Look who's watching from the town. There's other players nearby.
I didn't even see that. So there's someone in... Oh, there's someone in the compound as well. So he needs to be careful himself.
Còn có 55 người.
Actually moved though, so he's not seeing him. He might now is going out into the open. But yeah, that's going to be Danza. If Vicstar's in a really rough spot. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're not going to get pushed by this hill. It's not... This initial circle here is not going to do a great deal of damage. You don't have to be forced out of it, but he's got eyes on the prize. If he moves forward, Danza could be giving him a bit of a welcome party here.
Yeah, and it looks as though Steve-O's completely unaware of what's happened as well. He's readjusted and kind of lost track of where the players were. You can see the Cloud9 guys racking up the kills. Again, something I predicted at the start of the day, that they're going to be doing pretty well. And it does seem as though Gassy Mexican's gone down, a bit of another streamer, a bit of a personality. You will see a bit of a definition between kind of
53 người, chết 2 người nữa rồi.
So one of the mythic guys, used to LAN environment, shouldn't be too nervous here, should be able to control himself, keep himself here. Daz as well for the Noble guys. Incredibly good rating, but then again, I was talking about Boom earlier and we saw what happened, so you know, I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Not only did he miss a crate, but he then got
Bọn này đấu chuyên nghiệp nó kỷ luật vãi.
As many as what some of these players do, even in the most wild and just abandoned areas, you're seeing these level 3s coming out of top. I mean, don't get me wrong, they can spawn everywhere, but it's mental. It's absolutely mental. Scar in hand, just chilling away, waiting for someone to creep on by.
Hồi nãy gần 20 phút rồi mà còn khoảng 52 người. Mà trong khi đó vô trận có 71 người đó. Bullshit nữa rồi.
Once you get into the top 50s, which you're aiming at, it goes from 50 points to 60 and then up. 70 is at 30 players remaining. At 20, you start looking at 90 points. So again, it's longevity. Here's Daz again, another a relatively well-known player as well. If you're kind of part of the scene. Out in the open though, he's going to hit the card. Where's that full auto? Show me what you got here. Going to go to the UMP. Interesting choice. I guess you can spam it.
Bắn vô cây không bãi thanh niên.
To the 4 times, has a little look, but already the player's gone. Nothing more to be seen from that one.
It also depends how much ammunition he's got kicking in the back. Maybe he wants to save it on the 5.56. It does take up quite a lot.
Đây, cam đây. Ui trời, không thấy luôn kìa. Vâng, không có chuyện gì xảy ra hết á. Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell không đi với Peter Pan, hôm nay bà đặt đi bắn súng nữa. Thanh niên đó của Cloud9 đó.
Not too relevant right now because the circles will become a bit of a factor soon. And Break already getting his first kill on the board. So the kind of more favored players are starting to kick into duty. This is where right now.
Streader của Cloud9 luôn.
He's got 50 bandages. I don't think he needs that many, but he only has a vector. So what is this play? I don't know how he's ended up with such.
Ui, đây coi thanh niên rồi gì K98. Ít mấy đây? X2 với Red Dot à? Có chảo, có nón, có giáp 1, giáp 3 hả? Giáp 3 chứ. Rồi vãi.
Bear in mind that it does get a little bit close on that sort of aspect. You've got to be careful. It does take a while to run through these areas.
He's going to be able to take quite a lot of damage as well. And with the pan on the back, if you're shooting him, you've got to make sure that you shoot him dead center because that thing's going to be blocking his ass. Still running away though. Does he have? He doesn't have the greatest of sights. Only a red dot on the cat. Unless you're going to be.
Ồ, Red Dot 2 cái luôn mà nhìn lộn. Đậu phộng. Xài 2 cái Red Dot luôn. Ui, chạy ngang qua bắn kìa. Ui rồi.
Almost 3 minutes to run across a full square, the 1,000 meters in this one.
Quá ngoại luôn á. Một em chết ngoài bo rồi kìa. Hai niên hai nhà kế bên.
The Sequisha here working his way in. He's gone for the long haul. He's got a run to make. That'll take about, I guess, a minute to go through. So he's got to have a bit of stim there and hope that keeps him alive and well. But Hotted has to be careful. There's an opponent right nearby. You make noise. You expose yourself to the wrong angle.
Này là gọi là đấu trí nè. Ai mà xông xuống trước là người đó là lợm. Thằng ấm á.
Honestly, I'd prefer him just to sit back. I mean, it depends how you want to go. You mentioned earlier on about the bobbing and weaving, never standing still in this. Now, I didn't realise he'd gone for the crate. Yeah. That's the M24. I take it all back. If he cracks this guy in the face, it's good night Vienna, my friend, and that's why he's applying this one. That's why he's waiting. Oh, taxi.
Ui rồi, bắn kìa. Kinh vãi ra. Nhưng mà 24 đẩy một viên một xém ngõm luôn. Còn 41 người. 30 người đã ra đi. Thanh niên kia đã hồi máu rồi.
He has to be very careful. But we're down to 41 players, and look at the circle, guys. Remember, if you're playing this at home, you know there's not normally this many people alive in these circles. Look at this. There's players absolutely everywhere.
Ôi, nó rải rác ở ngoài bo kìa. Quá trời quá đất luôn. Nó ở vòng ngoài bo đó. Vòng sát bo á.
Fights will be breaking out everywhere right about now.
They've got the play on the other side, and they're obviously pushing that circle, waiting till.
Rồi một em đã hy sinh đó rồi.
Because fair enough, he does have a scar, as you mentioned, but that 24, if you can kill this guy, not only do you take a very dangerous player out of the game, but you pick up a very nice reward in the form of that sniper rifle. 2 players, Chipsy versus, I believe it's CTN. We actually saw down in the kill feed looking there.
Oh, this is a good adjustment here from Vicstar was the guy playing against having the blue, you know, kind of being a bit of a nuisance towards him, but the guy who's just going.
Đó cái đó cũng gần 200 mét bắn đốt trúng được hay vậy.
Get to the high ground, but look, because he's been holding his breath taking the shots, he can't sprint at full speed. He needs to let it regen for a sec. But again, he's close to the circle. He's got the slow-moving circle on his side. If you guys don't know, obviously the smaller the side of the circle you're on, it has to close at the same time, so it moves slower than the large slide. So here's the kills. There's Drifter going down. There's Dancing going down.
Chưa có gì để giao tranh nổ ra nhiều đâu. Cỡ còn 20 người mà cái vòng bo thứ 6 á. Ui ui sấy kìa. Ui chết luôn rồi. Ui. Sấy kinh vãi ra. Chưa dám lút đồ, chưa dám lút đồ. Thanh niên này là sấy kinh thật. Này có team tía em mà.
There's always a cheeky bee, but it's waiting here.
What do they call those shacks?
They call them.
Twitch chat can help us out. Hopefully the boy shacks or something. Lyric once told me. I don't know. I wouldn't call Brave that to his face, but he can't hear me right now. So you know, got to get it while I can. Now the point is, he's a little low on ammo though. 40 on the extended with 20 in the bag, but Shaq is taking down Sweater. So actually Cloud9, who are huge advocates and huge players,
Thính trước mặt luôn kìa.
Ui ui. Oh my word, that's a bit awkward, isn't it? Cars blowing up. You're in the blue as well.
Nè, thanh niên này có hàng nè.
This is a strat, sure, but it's not one that I like. The 4 times on this range is still fine. You're still good, but you need that kill and fast, and you need to go that direction. You've got to move. Ninja standing possibly in his way. He's going to keep
bò rút đau quá, bò rút đau quá.
Look at the damage coming in.
This is dangerous. He's going to have to get some stems. He's going to have to use some meds, which he's doing now. First aid kit will come in. It's found his target. He's going to whip out his gun as well.
Cái solo mid.
Single fire M16, but he does have that shotgun to turn to if this player gets super hyper aggressive.
Bò rút đau quá anh ơi, di chuyển đi anh ơi. Đợt này 2 anh ông ở di chuyển là hai anh xanh cỏ ngoài bo đó. Đây, phơ rồi. Đây coi ai nhanh tay rồi đó lụm nha. Bo rút đau lắm á. Rồi. Ôi chưa. Ui rồi này. Ui đang giao tranh mà. Rồi gặp nhau rồi. Đó, mình cách không kịp luôn á. Nó bắn cái này nó chuyển camera, cái này sao cách. Giết anh ơi, hay quá. Anh ta tên là Evermore. Ninja đã bị Evermore lắm. Ôi. Còn 20 người á. Đây, bắt đầu giao tranh nổ ra nhiều đây nè. Rồi, anh ta. Rồi. Ui ôi. What the fuck? Bắn cái đất gì mà kinh vậy?
with Gassy Mexican during the main tournament, but she's coming to own, taking down Syndicate, for example, a well-known player, so good stuff. But there's Moleman again, the guy who went Millie Island.
Này giống con gái quá các bạn. Hình như có một team, mấy team là có con gái chơi nữa. Ui dồi sấy kìa. Rồi. Xong rồi, lấy gì chạy. Tivo đã lên đường. Phải chào ông bà, ông dạy. Đây, chuẩn bị là giờ phút này là căng não này nè. Nón 1, giáp 2, giáp 3, ba lô 2. Cầm hai cái gì đây mình chưa thấy rõ nữa. UMB với lại hình như là Scalar á.
It depends where he pulls up now. Lex is in a battle over there. You can see them now utilizing the cover, but that's not where the circle is, and that's going to be moving in again, forcing these players to take these fights. Kirby Llama finally goes down. Hotted just locks himself.
Còn 11 người nha các bạn. Thanh niên này có em 24 rồi là Scalar. Sấy. Chưa thấy. Đang di chuyển qua. Đây, cái vòng chuẩn bị 2 vòng cuối đây. Ai giờ quài bo rút chết luôn á. Ui. Ui, cái chảo cứu người kìa. Ui, cái chảo kìa. Cái sự thần thánh của cái chảo chưa? Còn 8 người nha. Chúng ta chuẩn bị có quán quân của giải solo ngày thứ nhất. Sấy. Ui. Lex. Đây là có thể là ứng cử viên của chức vô địch ngày thứ nhất đây. Chúng ta theo chiến thuật cam. Chuẩn bị có giao tranh tiếp, Đã có giao tranh. Rồi, thanh niên của Cloud này đã giết được người. Trời ơi, ngay đầu. Ui rồi ôi. K98 ngay đầu luôn. Anh ta đã bị đồng đội bóp giấy. Còn 3 người. Lex, ứng cử viên của ngày vô địch thứ nhất này. Tôi nghĩ thanh niên này sẽ vô địch đây. Rồi, xui cho anh ta bo hơi xấu nha.
This is what matters. Top 3. Who's left alive here? We've got Break still standing, a couple of the others, but they're mostly towards the northwestern side. Who's going to be the one to cross first? He's got probably least distance to traverse.
He's so aware of those rocks.
But here we go. Look at this. This is such a nice position as well, coming out from Hayes. Liquid.
Mình chưa thấy tên. Hay. Một người này là của team Liquid. Hay.
This could be an issue. He can't take long range fights. He's got to wait for the other engagements. And Hayes has got to have seen Break there. He's got to.
Đang di chuyển dần vô bo nha.
Breaks out in the open. He goes back to the blue.
Rồi anh ta đã thấy đối phương di chuyển rồi.
But he's in the circle. He's going to let the other two fight it out and then pick off the victor. A smart, patient play from Hayes. Let's see if he has that trigger discipline or can Break somehow do this. Shaka does.
Ta đang banh cooler engineering gì đó.
Everywhere. And the boosters can come in, boost up, get as many meds in you as you can, and play it out smart. Look at the patience. Breaks dying to get into. You can see him chomping at the bit. Shaka prone down, but both of them need to get to the circle. Shaka can spot Break.
Bo đẹp quá cho thanh niên Liquid hay này rồi.
Tank the red ball and let's go. Here we go then. 10 seconds now moving to that hill will begin to collapse. The circle will
đang bò.
As you mentioned, only one player is in there. That's going to be Hayes, just waiting, chilling. These players more than likely going to spot each other. One player, if you look at the radar, they are now looking at one another. No, they're actually.
Sau lưng anh ơi.
Oh, this is. Who's going to the first? Hayes is in such a great position.
Ui, hai thanh niên này bị bo siết. Rồi. Có thể hay là vô địch nha.
You've got to land those. Break now can hear this. He knows where it's coming from. He needs the fight. He's going to take it. Nate to hand though. This could be it.
UK on UK. Here goes the grenade.
Ui, bo bên kia nha. Ui. Càng não quá.
He doesn't know where he is. This is his POV. There we go. It finally just catches the head of him as he will now get into that cover. So, but
He has to take the fight. He has to move this. The circle is on Break's side.
Bò anh kia nha.
Limited meds on the other side, not many boosters. Break's already into the good cover now. He can just sit back, relax, and you know he's going to deliver. Nade to the first. 30 seconds now remain. Bear in mind, there's thousands on the line for this kill. Hayes only has a tree and an open road. Welcome to the highway to hell as Break is on the other side. And now we wait 20 seconds.
Đây là thanh niên của team TSM Break và đấu với lại một thanh niên của team Liquid hay. TSM hay Liquid sẽ vô địch ngày thứ nhất solo đây. Bạn còn sao tán sắp mặt lờ nữa anh ơi. Rồi giao tranh rồi. Ôi 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 yes. Team TSM đã vô địch và thanh niên tên là Break. Ôi kinh vãi, sấy kinh. Quán quân solo ngày thứ nhất là TSM Break.
Every other day of the week, you'd have probably seen him land that clean, but you could see a little shake, you could see a little moment. But credit to Hayes as well. He had great positioning throughout that, kept the mentality right. We saw a lot of the Mythic players doing quite well. Lex especially was definitely a highlight for me. But yeah, all in all, outstanding work from Break. I think if anyone doubted what he can do, if he said, you know, oh, he's only good at first person, oh, this and that, it's, you know, it doesn't make a difference. He's turned up and he's delivered. He showed exactly what you can expect from this team.
11 kills is a big number of his points as well. You know, it's not only kills, but that's a shed load of points to throw it on top of his 500 that he's made from the win. And fair enough, he got a fair few out of the shack. We're not going to let him get away with that one, but it's solos. Who gives a damn?
55 points
Whatever
for 11
works.
kills. 55 points for that. I don't think
5-5-5.
anyone else was even close for the win. 500 points, of course. Brilliant work from the man. Very impressed. But I think the end circles here were absolutely lovely to watch too. Considering how this all started, how it's all ended, I think, you know, the next games to come, people learn as they go. This is the first official they played out here. Teams have been warming up, obviously. But yeah, that was a lovely start to this one.
It's insane how Hayes is sat one side of the road with the circle advantage, and within seconds, the circle jumps into Break's hands, and he's sat there behind a rock. Bring it on, boy. You want a piece of this? You've been waiting on me, but now I can wait on you.
Let's be honest though, Hayes, he took Break so far down, considering Hayes didn't have many boosters either, and Break had a lot to stem up and, you know, sustain a lot. He had level 3s, so what, that reduces what, almost 50% damage pretty much around that marker. So again, he was soaking up damage. Hayes played very well to even get him that low. That's like, everything was in Break's hands there, but again, credit to Hayes for being that close to it. Thoroughly well played, and here we go. We can have a little look down the kills as well. The points.
Còn giải duo nữa.
Hayes though played very well.
Để mình coi duo mấy giờ.
Stoda, Lex, good stuff from them. I also have to say, I was kind of curious who he was, you know, the Korean player working his way back in from the blue. The guy's actually very well known for his play coming in from Overwatch too. This guy is a very well known player. So again, you can expect this guy to be delivering on all fronts, but yeah, great work coming out.
Hoyd makes me laugh. M24, 0 kills, but still 180 points. Survival and being at the top of that list, that's the key. That's what you want to do. I tell you what, Breaker gives himself such a buffer now. 5-5-5, that's insane. If you wanted to be super critical, I mean, mega critical, at the end when you were looking at his, he threw a lot of grenades in the wrong direction. If he would have held for a second, maybe he would have thrown them at Break when he was hiding behind the rock. But hey, that's us just giving and guessing. We can say whatever. I believe
quán quân ngày thứ nhất TSM Break.
Down on the floor with Break. So let's throw it over to Cameron. Cameron, how's it going, my dude?
Going great, thank you very much, and I am in fact joined by Break, our very first winner here of this best of 3 series. We have a couple more games coming up, but of game 1, he did take the first place.
Cái đó chỉ mới game 1 thôi nha các bạn.
You were actually pretty nervous. How are you feeling now?
A little bit more relaxed, but I'm still shaking. I think it's more adrenaline than anything.
So the very beginning of the game, we saw that near the end, the circle ended up towards like the southeast of school in that area. Where did you drop in the beginning, and how did the first couple of circles affect your game plan?
I kind of made it up as I went along. I dropped ruins. I didn't really get much stuff, and I saw a load of people go Georgia part at the beginning. And then as I killed the first guy, I don't know who he was, I knew that if I made my way around to the bridge, people would be coming in late and I could kill him, and I think I got Moondie doing that. And then luckily Moondie...
Hay, gương mặt của thanh niên vô địch giải.
And then third person, you just kind of stay in the shack and hope for the best, really. Hope that nobody comes.
You did end up with quite a number of kills, which they do give you a couple of points, not quite as much as winning, but with getting first place, as well as the number of kills that you did, forgive me, I don't know the exact amount, 11 kills. 11 kills. How comfortable does that make you into the next couple of games?
Not at all. I might die in the first next game. There's a lot of RNG in Battlegrounds. I was lucky, I feel. A lot of good players. Another day could have easily killed me. But yeah, I think I got quite lucky. I think anybody that wins this, they're gonna have to have luck on their side, and I just had luck on my side that game.
Well, the luck on the side is the reason why we have multiple games coming into this. If there is one player, however, that you had to look for as, I guess, your biggest opponent in the solos, do you have one in mind?
Dr. Disrespect. No. Nobody really. I think again, everybody on that day can kill me. Anybody. It doesn't matter if they're in a better position through RNG. Anybody can kill me. I'd have to go with my boys. Anyone from TSM, I don't want to go up against. You know.
I personally think you're being too humble, because 11 kills kind of contradicts that previous statement. But that is going to be it for us right now. We're going to go to a small little break while we get ready for game number 2 in the first series here of solos at Gamescom.
Get back in that car. He's hidden so nicely.
I like how he's actually...
Đây là highlight của trận hay gì đây? Mấy cái highlight của trận. This is for experience. Chắc mình để cho các bạn xem chứ sao mỗi mà cứ hết cát kỳ quá. Còn game 2 nha. Để mình coi thông tin là bao nhiêu. À coi rồi, đây là có tổng cộng là 20 team. Welcome to PUBG. 4 phút 5 phút nữa sẽ có trận tiếp.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PlayerUnknown's Battleground Gamescom Invitational 2017. And my word, sweet Jesus, Mother of God, what an incredible round number one. If that's to set the precedence of how the next 4 days are going to go, it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it is. I'm out of breath. I think I lost my mind during that. I've lost a jacket. Like, I was sweating, not only physically, but bullets during that game. I mean, that was just unreal, wasn't it? You know, that had some of the elements of things I love in this game certainly being showed. I would say as well, imagine this a month down the line. Imagine this when the players aren't nervous, aren't shaking, aren't terrified to make moves, when the game mode's more refined, when maybe it's first person. There's so much to still see in this game. Now it's just the first taste of it. This is the first time you're seeing it. Throw your mind back to the first time you saw, like, I don't know, the original Armor mod of this game, essentially. You know, so long ago, before it kind of became its own title. How janky and strange that is. Imagine this down the line, and that's where my mind's going right now. But again, going back to the point, what a great game.
I mean, it kind of just goes to show how things can change at the drop of a hat. You know, Hayes is sat behind a tree, he's chilling, he's got circle control, it's in his favour. 2 players opposite him, he's got eyes on one, he's got a good, rough idea where the other person is. All of a sudden, goes into a one-on-one, fair play, alright, he's got eyes on break, he knows exactly where he is. Then the circle just says, you know what, son, you've had a bit of time. Its brakes go, bang, lands on top of him behind a rock. And now Brake's like, well, I'll tell you what, it's my go now. You have to come to me, and it's nuances like that where you have to be on your toes. You have to be rocking, you have to be rolling, you have to be ready just to take anything that this map throws at you, because anything can happen. I mean, at least we don't have the bombing zones. You've had a good run with them yourself in the past. Okay, no problem.
Why are you being abusive?
We won't talk about it. However, if there is a clip out there of you getting completely shafted,
shut up.
By the bombs, and it's rather fun.
I'm glad you specified by the bombs.
I did at least carry on there, you know.
Yeah, nice one.
I did at least carry on, so it was a good fix.
But yeah, if there's any videos of you getting shafted on the internet, we'll try and dig them up as well. But we can look at the current standings. As you can see, score-wise, win points is going to be very, very nicely sitting with the Liquid Boys and Break. Moleman was the guy who went melee base, and I'm actually really glad he did that. He seemed to be the winner of the Milter battle. He got the car, I can imagine, went on over. He beat out some of the Cloud9 guys who are doing the same thing. Obviously, Break won the thing. Hayes came second. Nice play. Solid FPS had a brilliant game too. I've got to say, Lex for me was a bit of a fragger, and I like that. He took a couple of fights which were pretty beneficial to him, and he played it very well considering. Hotted just stayed alive. You know, plays the pacifist role, you know, the survivalist just out there, like, doesn't want to hurt anyone. But yeah, all said and done. Could we go to the second page? I'm kind of curious if we can. I don't know if we can. Maybe I'm asking for things that we can't do. Ah, yes, good stuff.
There we go.
All right, let's have a little look down. Adren's up there, so the CS guys didn't do badly. But for me, the surprising one was the Cloud9 guys. Chappie's up there. And Chappie's a great player, so for me, I'm curious to see where he gets to. Ninja got outdone in the end by Evermore, the Korean player, who said, you know, he's gonna play outside the circle. He's gonna abuse that third person. He's gonna do everything he can, and that's kind of cool to come into. So yeah, so eyes towards him in the future if he still does something like this. The melee base start is a very risky one. Clearly, he found a car at some point, which was able to get him back, even though the circle was still pretty favorable. But also done, maybe we can go to 3 just to see who's really underperforming. Go on. Go on.
There he is.
Oh,
he's listening.
Vis, where are you at? I expected big things from Vis, actually.
Look at the night and day scenario between TSN players, though. That's insane. I mean, I don't want to take too much and say, oh, that shows the skill level. This is solos. Anything, absolutely anything can happen. But then you look at Sweater, for instance, Cloud9, you know, 1 kill, and this is the kind of dude that absolutely loves third person. This is a guy that's, map positioning, map awareness.
You know, you can have favorable moments and unfavorable moments. It's not, you know, we saw the ability breaking through with Break, but who'd have thought it? But, you know, this is not just about one-off. We know this game does have RNG elements to it, hence why there's more than one round. In theory, over what? The amount of games you'd kind of... And Smack! Why are you like this, Smack?
Rip Drassel, you'd have to do those at the end, didn't you? There was no point, I mean, come on, observers.
Don't point it out, please.
Don't throw them under a bus like that, that's cruel.
Alright, now we've had a dabble, we've had a taste as to what we can expect here. I'm kind of curious
Ok, ta sẽ chuẩn bị tiếp tới lại game 2 nha. Game đầu là người chiến thắng là TSM Prague.
Get involved, I want to hear from you guys. Who are you backing in this one? Because this game, as much as you know, it is about the players. The audience in this, it's, you know, it's brilliant, right? It's such a great community, and I want to hear how people see this unfolding.
All right, Pansy.
Yes.
Best of 3. How does this now? Obviously, every single time you boot up this game, you just take it as you
Mình đã coi thông tin rồi. Giải này là gồm 20 team tham gia. Và mỗi team là 4 người.
Does this now apply pressure onto thinking, oh shit, I need to stay alive now just to keep that win? Does that just apply a ton more pressure onto his back, or do you think it's just playing a game, man?
It is a theory. For me, that from break was him proving a point. That was pretty much a statement of, I can still win first, third, it doesn't matter. I will still do this. I'm still just as good, which he proved he was. A matter of consistency, I don't think I can ask of a player yet. I don't think I could say, I expect you to win every single day of the week. Same with Cloud9. They had a bad first game. I expect them to do better in the next, though. I expect top 10s, top 20s. They should be hitting that every single time, you know, if I'm honest. You know, same with the Noble guys. They have incredibly high elo. They're one of the higher elo North American teams as well. They had a very quiet game, to at least my standard. So, for me, I want to see a little bit more. I want to see a little bit harder play from the guys that I expected to. I want to see, you know, like, don't get me wrong, right? We're English, okay? People haven't noticed. I know the accents are weird.
I'm surprised if they haven't.
Yeah, but please don't tell me UK esports is coming back with break. Like,
we're not
allowed this sort of fun. We're not.
Top 2 UK.
Để mình coi thông tin coi là tên gì.
We're not allowed this, all right? Don't let this happen. Don't get our hopes up, all right? UK sort of battlegrounds, UK BG. I don't know if I can even imagine it. You know, I don't believe it. So
it's been a long time.
It has.
Maybe it's.
Is it our time?
I think it could be.
I don't know. I'm looking at chat. I don't think they agree. I think
we don't have to, because of Brexit, we don't have to say you anymore. We can say UK.
Yes, that's
I'm Lucy May.
Really well in the last game. I'm a little cry.
Mr.com. Gì Lâm Lucy May.
Everyone's had a little bit of a taste. You mentioned it, Pansy. Everyone kind of knows what's coming. Anything can happen in this game. How are you finding the first initial flight path? How did you think that kind of set the story for the rest of the game?
Do you know what? It was a nice straight across, right? From like essentially a little bit between Saverni and Zaki, kind of went all the way down through Novo, or towards Milter, I guess, which was the final kick-out point. And for me, it was a nice one. It kept the whole map available, which is what I was looking for, rather than ones that are very polarizing towards one side of the map, or don't allow for much movement. That allows you to play anywhere you want. Essentially, you can go all the way up to Stalba, you can go to Spawn Base Island, you can go down to Primos. We actually saw both of that. We saw the extremes of the map played through, and I like it. I like that sort of thing. Again, it gives you so much availability, and you go through a big chunk of the higher car spawns. So the main car spawns throughout this map are the edge of Georgia pulled towards the east. You've got Roshok kind of leading around, the main road that goes past the school and towards the apartments. And then you have, the Milter and then Nova, right? So essentially, the flight path was over the cars. So for me, the reason I like it is because then it gives people the ability to move around. If it's the one that goes on, I don't know, from basically just the west coast up or something like that, you're kind of limited on where you can go. You can take the early parachute option and go far further, but still you're taking a lot more gambles here. The risk, the chance is higher that it should work out for you.
I mean, maybe it's just because of what's on the line, but we didn't really see any school play. We didn't see any melee pace. Yep. We saw one person just kind of trolling along on his own. Quite a few people obviously moving over to Ganka, but, excuse me, not Ganka, over on Georgia Pole, but we expected it because that's pretty much where the plane came in, just above it so everyone could drop down. But those people, they run into a firing squad because this is moving into that circle, its position. Everyone's shifting on in. It pretty much just landed below the flight path, which kind of caused some problems early on.
Julia.
I'm not going to say the exact values, but it
còn cái sinh không mấy bạn ơi.
Yeah, I do actually want to talk about that circle play. I really hope we move on from this, but the edge of the circle play being a factor, I think again, this is where people, like lower tier players, I think will blame RNG a lot and go, oh, but the circle was bad for me. I had to run from X to Y, but you put yourself on an edge of a circle, which will always then have a possibility of, in an extreme case, the way the break and haze thing played out, it goes to the other side, right? Yeah. So you have to run twice as far through everyone who's set up. I prefer, and I like players to play quite centralized. Even if it's in buildings, if it's just using terrain to their advantage or whatever it is, I prefer to see more players going for that aspect.
Đây, chúng ta sẽ chuẩn bị bắt đầu với game 2 nha.
Talking smack, and actually talking smack, I want to see better things from you and Vis and all the other TSM boys, because Breaks just set the bar. I'm going to see who goes breaking through that ceiling. Again, we're looking at the North Americans, where are they at? So Scooter's already flaming me for back in UK sort of esports coming back. You know what? Let's see if a North American team can maybe get into the top 2.
Let's see how it goes this
Let's
time
see how they've got it.
Game number 2 is about to get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tweet the stream, use the hashtag Battlegrounds. Get involved online on social media. Make sure you're following PU Battlegrounds on Twitter and Play Battlegrounds on Facebook also. And if you have a look at the ESL PUBG account, there'll be plenty of dank memes and random trash coming out of that from the meme lords themselves. Open the cage, the social media team that I have a better time I'm a part of, and it's dangerous in that room. You go in and there's things happen. Sometimes not good.
Why does that sound threatening?
It feels like it. When memes are being created, there are a lot of choice words said, and it's dangerous. Anyway, enough about that. More about this game.
Enough about my private memes.
Moving into the meme section.
Dear Lord.
We'll see if any memes can be made. I want to see a pan kill. Speaking of memes.
9 giây nữa.
Someone gets a pan
That's
kill.
actually why I call myself Pansy.
Đợt này là 74 người tham gia nha.
You know what? Love a bit of that.
Somebody added you that show that you've stolen. I'm not letting you have that one.
Rồi trận đấu đã bắt đầu.
Don't know what you mean. All right, boys, let's see what flight path we are on. Let's see what destination we are going to, because that defines everything here. And okay, is this across the middle? Okay, it's a slightly north twist to it. So this keeps in mind now for me, who goes to the Roshok area, school area, the edge of George for the car, the
Hướng bay từ Gaboro xuống. Bắt đầu chạy nha, bắt đầu chạy nha.
Novo Millie base Milta Power are where I'd be eyeing up, but look at the density of players dropping towards Georgia Pole.
A lot of people are going to be moving up to top George. We've got north there with all the towers, plenty of people moving down south as well. As you mentioned, Roshok could be a hotspot. We're going to scope in just a little bit more, make sure we show you exactly where these people are going to be dropping. Yaznaya could be a huge pocket of players. Also,
Pachinki is still available as well. You can do the longer flight to Pachinki, so keep your eyes. You can see most people heading south. Look at this play. Everyone's pushing southerly. So this could make the school pretty busy as well. Pachinki, the places that I actually detest, might have some action. Yaznaya's got a good...
Ôi rồi ở khúc Mansion kìa trời. What the fuck cái Mansion?
Let's have a look at Flom Smack towards the north. We've got a Zaki play coming in. We've got the slow west coast.
Có một thanh niên lên Zaki.
Serenity or Oshi over there. Oshi's actually on that west coast, as said, loves that side of things. You got Cat, another Survivor Games victor, going a little bit more central. And here is the place that Shroud has called his own. It is the school, and that is him, awkwardly stuck and falling, and actually not taking damage. How have you managed that?
Dancer's going to try and find a gun. If you can find a shotgun inside school early game, that gun will absolutely tear opponents apart. 2 rooms and no gun whatsoever. Oh, no, that's going to be a vest. Picks up the level 1, still looking at this gun. Come on, give the man a gun. Oh, there we go, that's an AKM. So now the AKM, it does so much damage to people who are undergeared.
Yeah, 48 damage overall anyway is the general thing for 7.6. And then you get down to like the 41 for the 5.5, which has got a bit of both. For me, get that full auto staying here. You don't want the M16, excuse me, at this point. Just because single fire, you can go up to burst. Even preference should tell you that you want the full auto in this close quarter combat. You're already seeing a couple of kills come in, mostly with pistols and lighter tier weapons. You know, it's not going to be massive, and there's the full auto coming through. You can see him just cycling through it. He should be trying to get a little bit more, but again, this is kind of what you expect from school. Very light gear.
Ui, trường học có kìa. Oh yeah. Trường học huyền thoại của anh em mình kìa. Anh em mình là thằng nào rảnh rảnh cũng vô trường học đúng không? Ở khu ui, bây giờ chưa có gì chạy lan ban dưới đường vậy.
He's running away from, I think, Pachinki. So I'm a fan of this. Flee the scene. Run for your lives.
Trying to stay alive.
Run for your life.
Car spawns at the end of the kind of T junction. Run for your life. So again, he could be eyeing up, maybe going further south. But we do need to check in and see where the circle now is. We need to see if anyone's gone for those long, risky routes. You can see there's caution being aired here towards Scott, and I like this. Okay, so 2 players heading down towards Amelia Island. Great choice from Drassel there, the LG player, the new Nazi guy. Molman's doing it again. Clearly a favorable move from him. You're going to see Evermore playing the outskirts. The long drop coming through from him. He did the early parachute pop, so just landing now. So this is very spread out. We've got a nice circle. It's not too polarized. He's still placed the drop route, so it's just going to force people to move slightly further south.
Starting to see some flash. Another player does go down. Just missed that one as we change POV. Unfortunately, so one player has gone down.
Chưa coi. Hai người chết rồi.
We're seeing a lot of shots down here though. On the coastline.
Is that the bridge crunch?
That is. It's a bit of a bridge crunch. Everyone coming out of Lighthouse and moving round. 3 players. That's going to be all over the yellow house as well. And we do know the yellow houses they've got surprise, they've got presence in there, but with the density of solos, a lot of people do tend to drop. They have moved down for that early play. We'll bring up the map and show you exactly more where, because while people are looting like this, we'll just try and build the storyline and show you where people are going, where we're expecting them to go on, and so on and so forth. Still early days, few players dead.
Giờ đầu nói chung cũng nhàn, chưa có gì để xảy ra.
That's pretty risky from Sweater.
I'd be worried about who's at the end of this.
Có canh cầu không?
It's not even that. Like, if you've got millibase and then fallen back, you shouldn't be even kind of aware of that yet. There shouldn't be people camping the other side. It's more that you're moving into people who've gone early to the millibase. So you're going to see a couple of kills. Cat managed to find a kill again. The partner of Size Syndicate from the very early Survivor games managed to beat Sacriel at the very end there. That was the victory many years ago. But yeah, Sweater actually could just play this spot. In theory, he could wait for them to cross back over, but again, the circle doesn't mean they will likely cross this side of the bridge.
I don't think he's got a gun. I really think the
There's
man
a lot
is...
of outskirts right
Ui.
Ow. Adren just got...
Adren's dead.
Look at the face. Just eyes on the face
That's
there.
right.
Adren, what's happened, buddy?
Great catch there,
North
Andy
American
Pyro.
CS
Low.
in its prime.
Comes in with the M16 and down he goes. And now I'm just going to take your stuff, my friend. Thank you very
That's
much
what you get for going to Pachinki.
Yes, you don't like this, do you?
Hate Pachinki.
Not a fan. Anyone else in Pachinki with him, or is it just him? I think we'll have a look in a second. I believe
Fucking
it's just this
bias.
man, so...
Two others over here.
Oh, I didn't see on the map. Wasn't even looking. How ignorant of it. So one person over by farms. Oh,
Ui,
we've got a
thính.
create.
Thính là Goza nha.
It's going to be...
Is that a Groza? Yeah.
That is a Groza. Now, the Groza is a disgusting weapon because not only is it... not only does it fire 7.62, it's basically an AKM, but the accuracy and the fire rate is insane. It's insanity.
Yeah. So if you played like any other game that has like an SMG in it with the high fire... Oh! How's that Groza? Yeah, quit out real quick. We definitely don't see it. Just quit out. It's fine. It's fine. Just... What's that, level 3 vest?
Please don't tell me Kisha's going to pick up it. Oh,
oh, did he go past and not see it?
That'd have been hilarious. Oh, God.
You just love to see it, don't you?
Oh, God.
You just love to see it. That's made me incredibly happy.
Rõ ràng phải không?
That's the content we're after here, if I'm completely honest. And there's Quisha, the guy from the
Ui. Xuống chơi luôn anh, xuống chơi luôn anh.
Why did you stop? Keep going.
Why is he paused?
I'm terrified watching this. He's look, if that buggy had a horn, you'd be hearing the toot toots coming out.
Anh ta muốn khô máu đó.
It doesn't have one, sadly. Only the others do. So you know, it's a real shame. Maybe you could have a little bit of the Grimm's Dr. Disrespect action going on there. Reddit, but.
Now, the thing is with this, it's a really unorthodox player. That player will have been watching to where the buggy went, and now he knows, okay, well, definitely heard it stop because the buggies are loud. The buggies are super loud in this, so you're going to be hearing, okay, he stopped. I've not seen it disappear anywhere, but the player that's in this same compound with him will not have a clue, and this, all right, there's not going to be tons of gear, but late game, this compound,
Stody, though.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, Stody's pretty solid at this, though. He'll hunt him down. He'll be methodical, he'll be good. Stody is one of those gamers that I rate pretty highly. Not someone who comes directly from esports, more of like a Battlefield, a bit of an influencer style thing, but actually very talented. And you can see the kind of smoke bait, which I kind of like. Again, covers the sound of footsteps. You can hear it popping now. That will allow him to move further, move closer, because you'll probably expect him to be in the white solo kind of house, almost the single floor one. We've just got to, what was that shot?
I'll take your buggy. See you later.
Đi rồi.
I'm off.
Bye, mate.
Cướp xe rồi.
And to be fair, Stody's just a thief, alright? I'm trying to hype you up, Stody, and you've just robbed someone. That's just mean.
I mean, there's many ways to win Battlegrounds, right? And this could be one of them. Couple of little engagements going down. We'll see Xeon taken out by Panda Moo there with the S1897 shotgun. The shotgun does all kinds of damage early on, especially if you have very low tier armor. Like, there's 9 pellets per bullet.
But it also plays very well in third person.
Thanh niên là cướp cạn. Ôi, còn 65 người à, lẹ. Chính em ra đây hả? Ui, mới nhắc một em đi nữa.
And actually, Oshi killing Gassy, so you know the battle on the western front, I guess you can call it, being defined as we speak. So that's going to start coming through. Down to 63 players now. Looking at the circle, not a big factor, but people are getting a little bit braver. We're seeing more kills coming in now.
Just to kind of touch on what you mentioned of a shotguns as well. Yeah. If it's one thing that people, and I'm surprised to do it, but they really still fall for, it's been funneled into like a hallway. The amount of times you'll stand at a door at the top of a set of stairs, and people will still rush you up the stairs. It's like, well, fly. I've got a shotgun, you're going to funnel into me, and I'm going to blast the living hell out of you every single time.
I like to do the booster bait, is what I like to call it. I place a nice little can of Red Bull, any of the branded drinks.
Oh god,
you know, Monster.
This is like putting cheese in a mousetrap.
It's great.
It's
you put
awful.
it like you go to the nice, the mansion-style house. You put it at the top of the stairs. People just run like, oh, a nice Red Bull. Because no one turns down a booster, right?
And you call me awful
and I sit
for being
there.
a pachinki.
It's the best thing in the world. Look, I like to upset players. I never said I didn't like doing that.
Giờ đầu khá nhàn, chưa có gì để xảy ra.
Fun because they get very sad about it.
I bet you've got a shotgun as well, though.
No, I don't. I'm not.
X4 rồi đó hả?
Jesus. And here's your standard Pachinki loot, level 1 vest. Just a bit of going on. I'll do what I want. Anger going to be kicking in. At least a little bit of work from the Mythic boys coming through there. AKM damage certainly being put to work. And you know, the banana houses are nice. You get the Car 98, you get suppressors. It seems like there's a higher rate of spoiling there for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it seems to be the case. Oh, this is just delightful, isn't it? Bloody hell.
Mới giết người luôn kìa. LG Ninja, thanh niên nãy bị shotgun bắn nát gáo nè.
Sort of thing is, if you get the vest, if you get the equipment, it will reduce damage received, and the durability is higher. 250, of course, 55% damage reduction, 40 on the lower tier vests. But you're going to see a little bit of battle here. Oshi going to start to eventually get up towards the hill, find a bit of cover. This is a very open area, though. A lot of battles will go down here. The rocks become quite favorable, slightly towards, I guess, the southern side, and they're going to work their way into the circle. But there's already players in cover.
So let me throw this question to you then, Pansy. You look at Ninja now, fair enough, he's got the gear, he's very, very tanked up, he's going to be hard to kill. But shotgun and sniper rifle, night and day, no real... I mean, someone's got to get up close and personal with the SK-12, right? But, now he's going to switch out to the AKM. I'm going to ask that because you're looking at two different opposites.
Bỏ SK đây
very
kèm.
long range, very close range.
We're going to see that lovely Duran moment of Rio, you know, just on the beach, nice boat going down, you know, it's a lovely scene. There is actually a boat behind him too. That was the thing that we saw on the map, and I wonder if this is... No, this is one of the other players actually. So again, we're just going to see a little bit of a boat play coming out. I'm hoping we don't see too much water play, if I'm honest. I'm not a fan of people just sitting in there. That's going to be from the hill, surely. The Cloud9 player laying it down from the rocks above. But there's the damage going through to the player watching earlier, which was Ninja. He's run into the people in higher, better positions already. You can bang out shots though. If he's got maybe 4 times a red dot, I'd rather not see a hollow on that AK, but whatever he's got, you can definitely take these buildings, but he has to move into... Oh, you can see the player! He's got cover, though. He's going to play aggressive. He wants this fight. He does have the shotgun. So
ép vô luôn.
Peek in the corner, working his way in. He wants this fight. He's going to play it out smart, though. Listen to the drop. He's heard the drop. He's heard the drop.
Không thấy nha.
Oh, God, you've got to be gutted.
Giết anh ơi! Ui dồi ôi!
It's a huge deny. Ninja decimates the player who thought he'd be pushing him. The around the world, the Robo-Dome didn't work out that time. But look at Panda creeping in. Has he been spotted? Has he been heard? The battle of the doors, the battle of the shotguns begins.
Ui dồi ôi,
Walking away with his life, as you mentioned, that player did try to dupe him out, but unfortunately
Khô máu
Ninja
luôn.
was having none of it. He knows his player's round the corner, so he's just going to keep following through. He wants to finish this one off. Will he get this kill though?
Ui dồi ôi! Shotgun ngay đầu.
Second time, unfortunately, my man has been chasing a kill, and he has been denied. He is eliminated.
Em rất tốt, nhưng em rất tiếc.
Disappointing. He really wanted the kill, but he was going in. What a shot from that player. I'm not entirely sure. We didn't see which player it was, but that's a headshot. Just dinged him, and he went down.
So let's keep our eyes on the extremities of the circle here. A lot of the TSM players towards the north. Serenity there, probably going to come into contact with Smack and Stoda. Lex having a little battle through still over by Roshok. But look at this. You've got players right on the outskirts of this map, still having to work their way through the blue. Certainly viable at this point, still works. There's Forzen right there. Twitch chat always loves the Forzen memes. Shouldn't mention his name. They're going to kick off.
He's got plenty of room, though. He can just chill. And we'll get this third-person cam on, show you guys, obviously, at home where people are. Here's, unfortunately, with the shotgun kind of out in the open a little bit and very heavily damaged. So I'm interested to see if he actually even has any meds, because he wasn't healing up in any way, shape, or form.
So at least he's got a vehicle here. Be able to move back into cover. I can imagine it. I don't know what gear he's got. He's got 416 and decent amount of gear, it seems. I think I see a level 2 vest on him and a level 2 helmet. So he's probably going to move into cover now. He's going down towards what looks like Milta Power, heading down from Lepovka way. So he's going to be getting in towards a circle. Stoda, though, he's in the crates, I can imagine. He might be able to get an angle on this. He's going to have about 4 or 5 shots to land on this car. It depends if he keeps going, if he just guns it here. There's a car right behind him, too, so we're in a bit of a chase, a bit of an awkward fight here, because neither of them want to stop. They're not in the safe zone yet, but you're going to hear the shots just behind as he gets towards the lumberyard.
Stoda still getting tagged up, though, but he did see another player coming down, so he did back off for a second, as you mentioned, lumberyard. Got to be careful moving down this hill, though, because there are so many houses and so many little Harry Potter shacks when you just run down.
Lật xe anh ơi.
Flip it. There we go. Landed it, fine. But now look at the US.
Ôi xe kìa.
Just in the middle of the road, he's like, okay, so there's definitely 110% people somewhere in these compounds. Evermore's round the corner.
Ôi, lộn nhà rồi anh ơi, lộn nhà rồi.
He's round the corner, he just nails him as soon as
lộn nhà rồi. Sao lại vô con nhà đó?
The passenger gets dropped off and eliminated. That is so
Sụp cái nó thủng nát gáo anh luôn rồi.
Evermore's been playing the game that he wants to. He watched it arrive. That was like a special, delivery of whatever he fancied. Get some meds, get some guns. He's good to go. Now, Evermore's a curious player. He likes to play a little bit of a unique style, so we'll keep our eyes on that. But that's a little awkward, isn't it? You're just sat there like, well, what can I do? But you've got a decent 4 times. You've still got the hollow there. He's got great versatility on now what he can use level 2s all throughout. So he's actually a really good spot at the moment. You can still see the players who are left up in the north having to work their way back down south, as Evermore will now just be going through all the meds, getting back into boost. He's fine now. He can probably take another fight, but he's just going to be using sound at this point. Milter is going to be littered with players. You can still see them on the extremities. No one's going for these drops, really. That's a lovely one, too. M24, 8 times.
Lại là M24.
You almost want to see it, but Forzen just got picked up by Panda.
15 bullets.
M24,
real quick one on the 686. You showed the double barrel shotgun before. Now that has the quickest initial bullet speed out of all the shotguns.
Có dao tranh.
25 damage per pellet. That's 9 pellets, and he had as well. He had all the attachments onto it. That gun is a disgusting weapon, but speaking of disgusting weapons, that to me is looking like a fully kitted M4.
Yeah, but I think he might have just lost his helmet. I don't think it's showed in his inventory, but you can see it on the UI. There it is, half HP, so he's taking a lot of fire, but he has the cover. Flom on the other side is not going to miss shots. So again, you've got 2 very talented players, one more kind of armor to traditional military sim, and then Flom is CSGO Pro.
He's just going to chill. He's going to back up for a second, which is fine. He knows Flom's got the height advantage. Fair enough, this wall's there for him and he can chill, but where Flom is, it's not going to make a great deal of distance, even if he pushes back on this one to try and get out the door.
You would say, though, if Syndicate actually wants to take a shot, if he doesn't have patience and he's not known to be a patient player, if he peeks up, Flom will have about a second or 2 to nail shots. That's why you see the helmet gone. That's the first thing he'll show, where you're standing up, you can't exactly smash the shots down. So if Flom feels safe enough to stay in the open like this, he will probably win this fight down the line if Syndicate gets impatient. Flom's still got meds, he's boosting back up. I think neither of them really want to take the risk here. Flom's trying to bait a shot. He's essentially doing what you do in CS of the wide peak. So you kind of bait the shot out first, get the kind of bullets.
Chạy rồi. Ui, chạy rồi.
2 shots back to back, one more and it's going to be delivered. But no, back down to cover. This is good stuff. Syndicate showing patience.
If he really wanted to, there we go. This is exactly what I was about to say. He could actually peek and he could hold the angle. He could hold the angle, wait till Flom comes out again. Flom's not actually healing up, I don't believe, so maybe he's completely out of meds. No Red Bull left in the tank whatsoever. Again, though, Syndicate can hard peek if he really wants to, but now Flom is prepared for it.
Yeah, and also Flom can back away here. He's got a deflate behind him. He could just dip over to if he needs to back away, which he really should be now. I know he wants this kill. I know he's hoping that he can get it done, but Syndicate's not only got a suppressor, so he's already being pushed on his position. Flom's ringing the dinner bell. You know what I mean? You're letting that Lee Enfield go in Cherno. Let's remember those times, essentially, is what's happening right now. Flom needs to be very cautious. Got the angle again, back and forth. These little jiggle peaks are lovely. But Lex goes down, who is the outstanding guy from the Mythic side. Maybe Flom wants to try and avenge his fallen teammate and take it out on Syndicate. But Chappie losing out there. Stone Mountain. We're seeing a lot of players fall right now. That top 42 is now just starting to begin.
Còn 42 rồi.
Now he's going to have to heal back. It looked like Flom does have bandages. They can at least keep topping himself up. We'll see Syndicate bandaging as well. Make himself a Red Bull. Fair play to the man. Get that health absolutely bang. So circle is now
condensing.
You look at that kind of homing in between shelter and farm. Lots of players on the inside. No one dead center because you do have a nice little compound there. Someone else falling down. Missed it in the kill feed, unfortunately. One player though, just laying just on the back of the defilade.
That's nice because you don't silhouette. You don't show yourself, and basically silhouetting, if you don't know what it is essentially if you run on the top of a hill, for example, they can't see each other.
Hai thanh bò kìa.
Unless they've been in a prior engagement.
Gặp nhau không anh ơi?
Yeah, this is silhouetting. So
thấy rồi.
Blue skyline. So essentially
Dĩ luôn, đúng rồi.
rather than being down and oh, he's going to have the high ground. This should be just a massacre. This should be a culling. Panda should land the shot every day of the week, but he's lost visual. He doesn't know exactly where he is. He must have caught a glimpse, but maybe not. Maybe they're running away from each other. Hot is now just fallen down to Scoom, so it's time to see these guys come into action. But Panda again creeping his way down. Here. And they're not in the safe zone.
I don't even think they've seen each other. Maybe now. He just turned for a second, but honestly, I don't think they saw each other. There were no point that Panda decided to rush in or really follow through with that kill whatsoever.
Yeah.
Looking across the board then, one person, Moondye, is going to move back in. One person kind of up near school, though. They're going to have some serious meds if they want to get back inside this circle. They've got a lot of work to do. Scoom's going to be topping himself up as well, getting tanked up.
Good.
Yep, getting plenty of bullets in the bag, and why not? 2 players will be coming in very closely. If you're looking at, in fact, 3 players. He's stuck between. Now there's 2 in the house over here. They potentially could be pinching one another if they move out also. I'm interested to see where they actually are in comparison to each other.
I think it's the compound over the road, so there's just 2 houses near each other. But as I said, down to the last 37, the new circle going to be defined pretty soon. As you can see, the blue going to start working its way through in 30 seconds. Everyone's going to be trying to hunker down. No one should be in a state of transit if you're in the circle, obviously. You should be aiming for buildings to lock yourself into. Whether you like third person or not, obviously the hot topic right now, it doesn't matter. You play it smart, you play it safe, but look at the farm. It's all kicking off here. I don't know who's going to come out on top of this. This is very risky on the farm area. There's a lot of players, there's a lot of cover, a lot of small buildings to work from. Breaks down. Breaks gone. He is down. He was one of the players at the farm, but you're going to see a bit of water play here, which is just vile to watch. And there's the punish. Good tags back to back. Can't do much more than that. You're still going to move. You're still going to run. And that is, I'm not sure who this is watching, but he's got the suppressor. He's still got nades. He can make this hurt. Again, if you want to rush up a little bit closer, but you've got to be a bit careful. A player can still go into the back of the boat and shoot out from it. You can't really do much more than that, but yeah, no one likes to watch them.
The only thing he could.
He doesn't know about it. He's confused, all you like.
He's still standing his ground. I don't think he realised that bullet came. He's getting nicked again. All right, he's actually going to drive in the water. Fair play to him. Now he'll jump out. Yeah. So the one player that he was going for a Rich, he's going to sit in the back of it and go, please get
hay quá.
Brilliant stuff. That was a lovely, lovely shot.
What a play.
No, beach it, Jesus.
I was going to go from what was an amazing play to what could have been worst place I've ever seen. It just beaches it. But what a play. Sit in the passenger seat, get the kill, lean out. Awesome. Awesome work.
All right, let's kind of catch up with what's been happening around Milton Town. This is on the extremities of the town on the hill that kind of leads down from the prison. You're going to see most of the battles coming here, but they shouldn't really be going down too much. These players in the houses are safe for now. They have no real reason to take fights and they see a player moving in, which won't be happening. So, again, we don't really need to watch these guys. We need to look on the extremities here. And Serenity just fell. Not going to find any peace and calm for her, but at the end of the day, it's got to be looking around these edges here. Everyone in the buildings is going to be hunkered down, no need to fight. The bottom part of Milton on the bridge, we could have some fun going down here. Curvy Llama going to be in on this action as well. We've got a couple of players. Again, house play really shouldn't be much of a bother here. As much as the farm will be busy, people don't want to move out of this, but he has the M24.
Now, Edaculus is one of the people that we mentioned before, could be the dark horse in this. Over 3K rating North American player coming out of Noble Gaming. M24 in his back pocket. I want to see what kind of damage he can do. I'm hearing more bullets. Same again. Same scenario. Sit in the passenger seat. Try and drill people down. He's got the silencer. Curvy Llama will go down, unfortunately, to Cake. Cake takes her out.
You're going to see it now.
Yeah, he lands on the beach and it's just...
He's
there chilling, so he knows where he is. I think he took a pop at him.
But look at the terrain surrounding these. Okay, so Cake, for example, has the terrain advantage. He's got a nice defilade to play with. You do have an 8x, so that basically gives you a little bit of room to work with. A lot of loot there, a bit of a loot goblin approach, but hey, if it works, it works.
The most important thing for...
Oh,
there's the M24.
What the fuck?
That just sings, doesn't it?
Bye-bye. See you later. That's what you get for trying to dig people in the side of a boat. It worked
first
time, not the second time. Cake says no, not today.
Vừa luôn cái đầu ra luôn đó.
Between his brain, and he's also still inside the circle. But the big problem for him here is he's on the beach. There's not a lot of cover. You've got these rocks where he is, but apart from that, he's going to be easy pickings from people down on like the low tier apartments. He's seen some
impressive with the car 98. This could be big 4x. Adjustment not quite on. A little off for my taste there. Again, not adjusting well enough. Not sure who this is. Lucy needs to get the aim going. Think of the 4x.
Đấy, một viên.
Finally a shot lands. Maybe one more could do the job. Ooh, that looked close, but no cigar. Again, the reload's going to take a while. Not sure if the bullet loops are on the back of that Car 98, but a readjustment from Cake as he looks to make his way.
Thấy rồi. Đây vô danh đây, giết nó đây. Ui, không vậy. Đây thì bắn hụt không. Viên một ngay đầu nữa. Ôi, Luke bắn kinh quá. Kay bắn kinh vãi nè. Niên bắn ăn chục phát không chết, nó bắn lần phát chết queo. Đó là giá phải trả. Gì mà ngay đầu không kinh quá.
Milta is going to be absolutely teeming with players now.
Feels so bad, man. You whiff, you dink him once. You hit one, I believe, out of 7 shots. Kick spins around 8 times. M24, bang, straight between the eyeballs. Takes it down.
Go.
That's
Look at
3
this
in a
battle. God, this is going to be mad here. The junction in the middle of Milta has players everywhere around it, and you're going to see that. With no flash hider on, you can tap these shots all day. Cake's still alive. This guy's going beast mode this time. High kills, high value. The M24 sitting well, but the prone in towards the Theresa May fields of wheat clearly going to work out well here. It's going to be
bị hai thằng nó quay, Ui, có xe tới. Ui, ôi.
Why did you not expect someone to be in here? You're hearing these shots. They're not suppressed, but this is where it matters. Cake, what can you do? Show us what
idol của tôi nãy giờ bắn kinh vãi lồn ra. Ui, đừng rồi. Thanh niên bắn hay vãi là đã bị móc. Kinh thật. Ball này như vô farm thì phải. Qua farm rồi hả? 19 người nha. Giao tranh bắt đầu diễn ra đó.
He could spot it, but he's probably more worried about Panda, who's been letting off shots on the other side of things. But this is going to be fun. We've got Luminosity and the TSM guys just throwing it down the north. Sai Syndicate is posted up. He's safe.
Brad không biết còn không ta?
Right now, it's going to be Molman actually getting pincered here. He's in a bit of a bother. He's got a player behind, player in front. He can't hide himself from both. And right now, he's switched on to someone else. I'm not sure why. As Molman did find him, he did get it done. Even though his HP was so low, you expect this from him though. He's one of the liquid boys. He should be delivering on all fronts. Safe in Milta. This guy is, I'm not sure why we're watching him. There we go. Let's have a look around. Scoom locks down a building. The buildings that remain a hot property, of course. That's where you want to be. A little bit hard to get run up on here, but nice spray control coming out from Scoom. Nice work from him. Absolutely powerful play. So again, keep yourself in these buildings for now. Play it smart, play it safe. You've seen the big players doing this. This is the smart plan that I like to see.
Biết tận dụng thời cơ quá. Đúng là khác biệt giữa những top player với lại mình.
Unfortunately, in no man's land, he's only got a little hook to try and stay alive, but he is getting tapped up pretty hard. Scoom will hold his ground. He knows Viz is up there. We saw the initial battle early on, just chilling in Harry Potter. He needs to make some magic happen because he needs to come inside. He needs to move inside the circle.
And this is smart play from Scoom. You basically watch where your vulnerability is and where the open ground is and where players are going to have to move from that you know. So he's playing this very well. Let's look towards the south side of the city if we can, in towards Milta. I'm not too worried about these two for now because they can fall back. They're not in an immediate fight. But in the further southeast side of the city, there's a lot of players close together. And here we go. You can see the kills coming in. And that's the guys we were talking about. Actually, Molman finding another. He's 40.
Bị lỗi cầm cái băng đèn cho em vòng kìa.
He was locked in. He was pinched in. He's won that fight. And again, running against the circle, he'll get himself win. That's going to be all as well. Guys, keep your eyes on the future. We've got some of the classic guys left here from either side. And now with the blue moving, and we're going to see a couple of players having to move.
We'll bring that POV back in just a second, and there it is. One player will have to be forced outside the farm.
Chạy bo là chết rồi.
That's going to be Dingus Khan was just waiting for him, melts him as well. Perfect play from him. Realizes the circle is on his back and is forcing him into his line of sight. 2 players though moving through the field. That's going to be Ollie. That's another player out of Luminosity. Also, one player coming out.
This could be a banger of a shot. Ollie needs to land this though.
That's going to give away his position, unfortunately. But he's also got the pressure of the circle closing him. He's got to force him out of nowhere.
Someone's heard this. Daz has heard this. One of the noble guys. He's going to position himself for a push now, being you know, so dedicated to hearing this, but the LG player working his way in. Gotta be careful. Nice work from Ollie in the end. Delivers every single bullet of that 5.56, but every single shot he makes, you can see the other players getting closer and closer. Vis eyes this up as well. Two of the bigger players maybe throwing this down, yeah.
He's actually going to tag him, but Daz, as you mentioned, he knows exactly where this one player is. He's been
nói
listening
chung
for a
đây ai
while.
cũng
He's
bắn
got to
kinh.
move back, but he's also getting shot from on top of the hill. So top of the hill at the moment, doing some serious damage. Great shots coming out of Ollie.
Sick work.
The kill is insane.
Great stuff.
Doesn't realise the player's still down low though. Now
he's
see him. He's just copped him. Yeah, there we go. So he did cop for him. He throws the bullet up top. Excuse me, the grenade up top. But this is keeping him pinned.
Hai anh em đứng kế nhau mà chả thấy nhau.
So the problem is that now Ollie
8 mạng.
this open ground really. He's going to have to just go through this. He's stimming up right now because he knows it. He can go full auto and take a fight, but he knows that someone knows where he is and he knows where they are. This is very uncomfortable. Beautiful work earlier towards Syndicate, and look at this.
Đây. Chạy rồi.
Advantage to run away with. As long as he gets a line of sight of the push.
Gặp nhau chưa?
Let's see if he does. He has. He's got to surely land this one.
Không thấy luôn. Rồi kia cũng chết ngoài bo luôn.
He finds another, but the HP. He took the risk of the kill and he just falls to the ground.
What the fuck?
Huge error from Ollie. He could have held his nerve. He could have waited. But no, he took the fight, and now we've got to see who's left standing.
Đây. Tiếp tục.
The Korean player still in this one. So many players still to look at here. As we're going to see a couple of them now dying as we speak. It's getting pretty hectic.
Yeah, we'll try and get some of
Còn 5
these
mạng không?
POVs now so we can see one player.
4 mạng nha.
Taken out by Spy Jaya. Several people now inside the circle. 2 more.
Look at Scoom and
well.
Vis.
They're still
so
going.
close.
Are they in the building?
Yeah, the winner of this fight, I think, will win this game. They get the high ground from it. For me, at least, Evermore's going to be watching the push across
Evermore. Anh em này dán trước bắn kinh lắm nè. Dán trước giết ninja.
Do they know the battle? Do they know the fight? They're going to hear these shots. He's moving up. Scoom's got to know there's players close by. But how does he work his way out of this one? Looks towards the balcony. He's going to have to wait on this.
Scoom còn sống luôn kìa.
He does have stims. I just saw the red ball and I saw everything else. This is going to hear the door shut. This is what matters. Down to 4 now. This, I don't think that Scoom knows there's a player below him. He's laying down fire here. That's Scoom going to get another kill. Top 3 now, but he's going to be closed in on. The luck begins slowly creeping up, but he has the safety of the door. But as soon as he drops, this is surely going to just absolutely destroy him. Well, does he realize?
Đây, kịch tính là đây.
Ultimate slick daddy right here, because that would be amazing if
biết nhau đâu hết rồi đó. Đây lên.
Information has been given away. Maybe there was the potential. He'll try and bait the door. Will he close it again? He knows exactly where he is. He keeps looking at.
Chắc ra ứng cử viên của trận này game này là đây. Khô máu luôn, đúng rồi, chơi là phải khô máu. Khô máu đó anh. Khô máu. Ui rồi, ui. Kinh quá. Mình đã thấy dần ui. Evermore là MVP của nhánh này, top 1. Tiếc cho School quá. Bắn hay vậy. Hay vãi ra. Xui thôi, đang thôi đổ quên đi.
As soon as he heard the shots, he got the angle.
Evermore from 4 intro is your winner in round number 2. Winner, chicken dinner. For the second time in a row though, a member of Team Liquid. Once again, second place. Team Liquid clawing at the bit. I mean, fair enough, he doesn't.
Team Liquid hôm nay nhỏ quá ha. 2 lần vô top 2.
Individual challenges, but amazing work this time from Evermore. He calls, he collects, and he is your winner.
Yeah, I know a lot of the Overwatch players out there who are watching this will be happy with that one. Known for
his
ability.
Maybe
just going to get someone he's comfortable to talk through to our host with, as you can see. He's just kind of calling for a mate, I can imagine. But yeah, he's one of those players that seems to like playing through the blue. He's a very patient player. He's not rushing it. He's taking his time. It may be a little bit of an unorthodox way of playing. But let's bear in mind, breaking his solo games, you watch his stream, you know, he'll take that blue damage all day long as well. It is an approach, it is a work. And I think that's Sammy with him, so I'm curious if they can
các bạn Zalo đi, chắc sẽ có game 3.
We'll give him a little bit of second to kind of go through and work out how they feel comfortable on this one.
This time though, having a much better game than last time. Obviously, Barik coming in around that mid-tier section, so he's still going to get points, and he's still going to give him. And he did have about 150, I want to say, off the top of my head, a nice little bit of a buffer. So I would have thought he'll still be sitting up top, but we'll get the scores on the doors after this one, then we can see exactly where these players are ranked. We'll be getting an interview in a second. Once we get the call for it, we'll throw this down to the floor, but different winners, different players in the top, Pansies, night and day in comparison to where players were on the final leaderboard on the last game.
I just don't know what's happening, all right? We've got the Korean scene taking over esports. We knew that's a thing, all right? We've been there. We understand this. We've had UK esports. What an incredible tournament so far. Very, very diverse approach to winning the game and playing it out, but it does seem as though the interview's ready.
Yes, it is. So we're going to jump down to the floor where Cameron is with Enemon. Genemon, over to you.
Yes, I am here on the floor with Evermore, as well as, in fact, the community manager of Battlegrounds to help translate this interview. So, Evermore, the first game, you played all the way at the spawn island, but because of that fight that you got into a little bit, it really messed you up and it got you killed in the blue. Did you play knowing that risk was possible, playing at the edge of the map this time around?
일단은 첫 번째 판은 자기장 플레이를 했었는데 워낙 변수가 많다 보니까 두 번째 판은 중앙 플레이를 한번 운영을 해봤는데 그게 더 잘 먹혔던 것 같아요.
마지막에 어떤 플레이를 했다고?
중앙 플레이.
중앙 플레이, 중앙에서. So I was really watching the blue zone, and there were a lot of people there, so I think it didn't really work very well. But in the second match, I tried to be in the center, and I thought that would be good positioning, and I think that worked very well for me.
You definitely played very intelligently, making sure not to take engagements that you didn't have to. You didn't play very aggressive, keeping yourself safe. However, this game does have an element of randomness that is involved. How much would you attribute that to your victory?
RNG가 뭐예요?
랜덤성, 뭔가 무작위로 막 이제 저희 게임이 그런 구성을 많잖아요. 뭔가 뭐 블루존이 떨어지는 것도 위치가 무작위로 되니까 그런 게 내 플레이에 얼마나 영향을 미쳤다고 생각을 하세요?
일단은 두 번째 판은 가스 운이 되게 좋았던 것 같아요. 그거 말고는 지금 저는 수비적으로 하다 보니까 가스 운이 그냥 좋았던 것 같아요.
I think for the second match, I was a bit lucky, and I didn't play aggressively. I was being really defensive, so I think I was lucky, and playing safely really worked.
So, because of this victory, you netted yourself 500 points from this game. Not quite so many from the first one, but number 17, which is, I believe, the placing of game 1, gave you a little bit as well. Do you think you'll be able to recreate a similar standing near the top on game 3, even though the circle may not work out in your favor the same way that it did this game?
네, 대충 이제 감을 잡아가지고 세 번째 판도 집중해서 잘하면은 문제 없을 것 같아요.
So now I think I know how it should feel, how I should play it. So if I just play the same strategy in the third match, I don't think I have a problem. I am pretty confident.
So moving away from solos, because later on this week we have duos and then the squads event. How confident are you in your own play, but also your teammates, your full squad group in this next event?
일단은 저희 팀이 여기 유명한 팀이 많지만 그 못지않게 실력을 자부심을 갖고 있거든요. 그래서 듀오나 스쿼드도 문제 없이 성적 잘 낼 것 같아요.
So there are a lot of famous pro teams in the tournament at the moment, but we pride ourselves for our skills, and we are very confident going into duo and squad later this week. So I don't see what could stop us.
All right, I like the confidence. Thank you very much. We're going to go to one more break while we get ready for game number 3, the final game to figure out who's going to be the full winner of this solo event at Gamescom.
Còn game 3 nha. Và xin long song linh song long. Vãi cái màn hình 49 inch. Gì? Để tôi đọc lại. Papa sing sling slong sling long lo phải sling slong linh long. Pay subcat bank account already. Hyper à nè, hồi nãy có các bạn hỏi cái tay Hyper tụi nó hay đeo nè, đây cái này nè. just got it my friend. Cloud Alpha. What? Really? Còn 4 phút nữa chuẩn bị game 3.
Xin like lâu sàn mới đánh thức 3.
What the fuck? Where all the alien language, dude? I don't see it, man. Ba 30 giây nữa chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu game 3 nhé. Anh em hóng hớt thì ăn uống nè, chuẩn bị xem tiếp.
Công giá nhất thế giới.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the carnage and the mayhem that is the Gamescom Invitational 2017. My name is Sims, this is Pansy, and my word. Game 3, so far this has just been pure and utter insanity. Really quickly, what I want to touch on before our previous winner of Evermore, the different kind of style of play that he brings to the table. The, you know, just the contradicting moves initially going to that spawn island and staying there. Unfortunately dying to the circle. This time round, creeping in a little bit slow, but making unorthodox plays and then paying off.
Yeah, it is a nice thing to see difference in stylistic approaches. For me, I think it's a lovely touch. But I think this is the overall standing so far. This is everything we've seen. So including game 1 and 2. Now the kill points are brilliant for Break. That's why he's defining. He's not only got the win, but good kills too. Evermore, good placing, a couple of kills here and there as well. But mostly those placement points sitting well. Solid FPS kind of going under the radar there. Cloud9's player coming in. Shaka as well playing well. Hey, Scoom and Molman, like all these three locking it down together. That's great. Liquid putting a very solid performance. Stoda doing well. Viz is still there. Lex is having a quiet game, but he's actually still keeping up quite nicely. High on the kill points, which is always good. Definitely playing into this for him. We've still got Hollywood as well, another dark horse who could certainly come back. I'd expect another one of these top 15 to probably win the next game.
Okay, so we can kind of see how things are working out now. Fair enough. I mean, you look at Brick.
Freck nhiều nhất bảng.
Kills, which is actually, he wouldn't be in the lead. He would be down in second place if he hadn't got such a great kills game in that initial round. Evermore, though, is now creeping. He's now just on his tail, as you say, moving down, though. We'll look at the 16 down to 30. Horted's there with 240, 220 coming out of JP2. Kirby Lama, 215, 215 out of Interroga. And then we move into our outside top 20.
I've got to say, so Syndicate's really gone up the rankings as well from the last game. From the first, this one, Cake's done quite well. We saw him playing well on the coast. He was the guy with the M24 who completely 180 to batter someone.
That was insane.
You know, as I said, if you miss that many shots with a suppressed Car 98, it's like, come on, how long do you get away with this? But still, no, it's nice to see there's still ability here. A good couple of placements within, you know, top 10. Again, I just want to have a little look and see how many points kind of happen throughout this one. I just want to double check. So placement-wise, if you really want to make a big difference to your score at this point, you want top 20 and up. That's when you get into the 90 to 110 points. So that's the big increase there. So you're wanting to start to look at the top 20. Now this actually might change people to play a bit more passively now. Again, they may feel, you know, confident, so you start to see a little bit more aggression in the early game, in game 2. But going into game 3, they might chill out a bit. Chappie really having a quiet one there. A couple of the TSM guys not exactly doing huge amounts, a little off there. But again, Adren doing okay, doing all right. Forzen doing all right. It's, you know, it's bare minimum, but there's still a chance for these players too.
So if my math is correct, which 9 times out of 10 it never is.
Yep.
I think there's going to be a couple of people down at the bottom who physically cannot win. It's now, even with the 500 points, unless they went absolutely ridiculous 20, 25 kills, I simply don't think they can win now. The question is, they just think, okay, I am going to throw every single egg into a basket here. I am going to get every single close combat gun and just run at people, charge at them, go completely hyper-aggressive, and maybe just cause
ruin other people's games.
That's what I mean. Just kind of think, okay, we can't win, so why not just go full savage? Why don't we just go full aggression, have some fun, and whether that starts to kind of mess
What
up.
do you mean by fun?
For them individually, just getting some kills.
There's no fun unless you win. All right?
But if they can't win,
they're not going to win doing that, are they? You know, they'll probably leave with maybe a shotgun, a pistol, and some sadness. But yeah.
Đang chờ team, đang chờ trận.
I have no time for this.
Sadness.
Look, if you're not winning games, move along. Like anyone who's not had a chicken dinner, there you go. All right, step off.
Like it.
But no, let's be honest.
Ủa mấy thanh niên này ngồi xen kẽ hả ta?
Most of them do sit from 2K and up. We have people peeking
ngồi xen kẽ kìa.
3K, 4K on, you know, we have them on North American servers.
Ngồi xen kẽ chứ không ngồi kia win team đồng đội cho bên.
Region out there. Yeah, and everyone like sits very, very well. Even in the qualifiers, as I said, if you're just tuning in, the qualifiers were going on for tomorrow, today, earlier, and you saw some good names. If you're people who play at home and you hit around the top 10s, if you saw on the ranking boards, you'll know people like Ibiza was there. You saw Outsider there, Mazzarini. Some of the names that you, if you play high elo, you'll play against, you'll see winning games. They, you know, I think Outsider was again top 10 in the entirety of the season. Solos. So there's a lot of talented players here that you're not seeing today, but you might see tomorrow in the duos tournament, because they'll be the qualified ones for it. So again, keep eyes on them. If you've got any favorites or possibilities of players coming through, there's some old Call of Duty players out there too. So there's a lot of names coming through here that have qualified through in those spots. So that's tomorrow, and you'll start to see a little more from these guys. Decent work from Daz at the moment. He's starting to come into his own. You know, 245 points, nothing to be scoffed at. Certain possibility, if you do get that first place or top 10, he shoots right up the rankings.
So just to really quickly recap exactly why we're here for these next few days, what are we doing? Well, this of course is an invitational. We've invited 72 players out, and then we have invited squadrons as well that, as Pansy mentioned, they have been playing. There is a qualification process. Tomorrow we move into the duos. Teams are going to be split up into 2. Things are going to get crazy. That's going to be third person. Then when we move into Friday, it's also duos again, and there is another qualification process from people outside that can get into that competition. That moves into first person. That's when the ball game completely changes. Anything is possible. We're going to be watching it from players' POV. Honestly, I'm not even going to try and guess how that one's going to go down. It's going to be amazing.
Well,
and then
first person. I'll just say, let's go on to break screen, because you know what?
There.
It's going to be a frag movie. It's just going to be his highlight reel. I don't know. There's a lot of talent here. That's what I'm enjoying, is the fact that everyone's delivering. Yeah.
It's really scary. And then when you see Nevermore step up to the plate like that, just to really throw it in and mix things up, things are getting interesting. And then to seal the deal on Saturday, we close the show with the squads. $180,000 on the line. It's going to be insane, and I'm being given the all clear that the server is now live. So for the third and final time this evening, we're going to be playing this solos match. Pansy, so far the circle has stayed pretty solid so far.
It's been tame. It's not given us the Theresa May field of wheat finish, which is always nice. You know, fields of wheat. It's not done the half in the water or somewhere. It's a bit of a git, isn't it? Or like on the bridge where there's land below it as well. There's a lot of those ends just like, thank you. Thank you, game. That's a kindness. Yeah. Oh, the RNG gods are being cruel, but you know, down the line, you know, you know how certain games on their trailers they buy the rights to certain songs, right? So you had, I think it was for the Battlefield release, it was the White Stripes, right? That was quite a cool thing for the trailer. I want the Top Gun song for when they're flying on this.
Wow.
I went to Danger Zone. How amazing would that be?
Oh, just flying over and dropping, be like, get out, lads, enjoy yourself.
I'd have a great time. I want that to happen. If we could find out how much that would cost to get it done.
Stick that in.
Yeah, that would be my fee for casting the rest of PUBG for its entire life. Just put that in. I shouldn't say that, because I'll be very poor. But let's look over. We've got 30 seconds remaining. Again, certain players starting to step ahead, break out. They've got to be feeling comfortable now. Another element that we've not discussed that much is you're starting to feel less pressure. Your heart's still going to be racing. You're still going to be sweating bullets at this. Like, I do it when I sit at home and I'm playing against absolute scrub lords.
The heart is insane.
But imagine if we got the heart rate monitors on a couple of players here.
10 giây, chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu vào trận tiếp theo, game thứ 3. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, go! Và chuẩn bị 74 thanh niên nhảy xuống và đớp nhau nữa.
Gunship has left the tarmac and we are coming in from an easterly direction.
Bay từ Liboka nhé.
Once again, Pansy, it's going to be a central flight path. So diving straight over, we're going to see Lipovka.
Vậy rồi, bắt đầu rải nha.
Around it, especially down at prison. We've got school in play. We've got the apartments. Pachinki smack bang over Pachinki. Will we see a king rise? Or will we see a cheeky Pachinki? Gakka's a possibility. A long flight over to Georgia.
Lấy vô trường. Bao nhiêu đây là vô trường hả?
The main thing is it gives easy access, very, very easy access down to Millis. If someone gets a bike, they can just get the hell out.
Early eyes on the road from Milta and the kind of edge of the
Ở đây thì có ai lãnh một mình Liboka ngon vậy?
Do the extremity again. Zaki, George. You got a lot of options. Oshi7 had a look towards Milta Power.
Rồi, tâm điểm là khúc vẫn là Rohok, trường học, Pochinki. Tại vì bay bên đó nhiều nhất. Có một thanh niên ăn thẳng một cái bên Liboka.
It's actually fine.
Hey, where will we die?
No, it's because you're going to fight with Ninja, alright? Like, like let's...
Okay, I'm
going to talk about the strengths of this very quickly, and if you haven't done this before, you'll find out like the benefits and the negatives. One, you're banking on a lot of RNG elements, so you're not playing a safe game, even though he likes to play a safe game. He said he plays quite a passive game. The fact is you're depending, one, on a boat. If the boat's not there, you have very low tier loot. If you get a boat, okay, when you come back, you're still banking on a car, and the circle being favored.
Jared's dead from falling! Again!
Get off the bikes!
Why?
How have you done that, Jared?
Jared chết nữa.
How and why have you done this to us?
What is this madness?
Một thanh niên chết vì falling.
Please, can we all press F in chat to remember the man before he fell? And what a horrific beginning, as we've got a nice little beep beep jeep jeep play.
Dude, Mr. Nassia.
Thanh niên chết nhảy xe nữa.
It's the meme.
I only talking memes. I have nothing else.
My wife's actually started. She literally, like, she'll talk to me and I'll send her a text, and it's like you physically communicate. Oh, millisecond.
And Cat, look at Cat's position. He went to so there was a lot of opportunity to go to the military island, right? They could have headed south. They could have gone for it, boats, cars, whatever. He went there and he's won it out so far. This is sick. I love this. The bridges are gonna be absolutely sick. Yes. I want to see players on top of the bridge. I want players smeared everywhere. And the players in the north are gonna get screwed. And let's see where that crunch happens. It's right on Pachinki. It's right near farm. This game, this circle, I am very happy with.
Well, Interrogate needs to be careful because there is one person moving into his compound just to his north, and he won't have a clue as well. This one player we did say, Cat, just chilling over here on Rust. Hopefully get geared up. Just chilling, you know.
Bài hướng đó là nhảy xuống military được luôn hả? Đam mê vãi vậy.
Oh no, Lex just killed Anger. He's just taken down his teammate. A knife in the back. See you later, Anger.
Rip.
The mythic boys are turning on each other already. There he is. Just running through his corpse like. Lovely, lovely loot.
I know you have no loot, so I'm just leaving it to loot.
But okay, so the thing we can talk about with Cat is he can loot here quite safely till about, I'd say, a minute from now, maybe 2 minutes, because people start moving on it.
Hay. Áo quân dân 1 đó. Áo quân dân 1 đó.
Player who did quite well, who could have done with maybe finishing within the top 20, has been taken out early. Down to 71 here. You're going to see players now start considering the circle and their route back into it. This is the era I was discussing, near farm, near that sort of play. This can become very busy. Schools kicking off, rolls already. But yeah, they're starting to look towards the bridge. I hope we keep tabs on the bridge. I love a good bridge play. Can't get enough of it, so we're going to see that now.
Bigger question, in solos, is there any point in even camping on the opposing side to get the kills? In a team,
if you're smart, yes. If you're smart, right? You don't want to take shots early because you don't want to be committing yourself to the bridge. But if you get over, let's say you take it from about a 100 meter to 50 meter shot when you're very close by and the looting's very quick and easy, then fine, go for it. I do not mind that at all, but I don't think people are going to go for it. It's very risky. It's open. Go on, do it. Stop that buggy now. There's a lot of viable options here, all the houses around the side. Yeah. I was going to say that Cat probably in a minute or two should head south, claim one of those houses. And Ollie, I'm wondering what guns he's got. I only saw a pistol then. So again, he might be under geared. He might have to take a risk and go for something on this point. He's crossing near the
Thánh này bắn nãy cũng kinh vãi nè.
Not so populated just yet. There's got a nice
tại vì bò.
Nice, depends on which side of it you're on, I guess. But here's the crunch. You can see it happening here. Drop coming in towards the middle. A couple of players going towards that. A couple of players with eyes on it. A little bit of play already happening over by the bridge.
Yeah,
helmet as well gone.
One player will come across. He's probably going to take pop shots as well. No, is he? No, so he's going to hold off.
Dĩ luôn chơi nó luôn anh. Đúng rồi.
The player in front of him knowing exactly where he is, so he's going to jump on this bike. Hopefully not down, like we have seen in a previous session. Is that?
He's looting. He should be. He's only got a pistol.
There's been no point in doing. I thought he's got a pistol. There's no point in camping with a pistol unless you have
Ollie might land the shot
nerves of steel.
Alright, so Spy's going to head off.
Tụi anh chơi nó chứ.
Again, this road's still got a couple of huts on it. You can hear Ollie letting shots fly as well. He's had a little look. He's definitely spotted them out here, so he knows what's happening, but he's got such bad loot. Decent armor. He's still level 2'd up, level 1 backpack, but that's fine for him. He just needs a damn gun. Break.
Oh, Frank lại giết người kìa.
So that's going to be happening in the background, but...
Get meme, son.
Oh, dear. You hate to see it.
You just hear it in the noise like, yes, instant death is coming my way.
Yeah.
Spoon lại giết người. Vãi.
The big question is, has Hunk got a hold of the crate? Because he's right next to it, and he was all alone.
Crack
I
đây.
expected a bit more of a...
Quân dân 1 ra các bạn.
on that crate because there were so many people surrounding that area, but it only looks like one person has it. So if we get Crunch's POV, we'll see. Oh, your favourite weapon. Look at that.
I do like the MK14.
And he's camping
and he's
the box.
Bushwookie.
He's camping the box. He's hoping someone else
MK14 nha.
Can you make a noise
Thích
like
Staban.
You can, you don't.
MK14, bộ đồ cây. Thơm.
I'm debating whether I should.
Maybe not now. If you get to kill, you have to do it. You have to let the cry go free.
It's not even a cry. It's more like a, I don't know.
Oh, you're tempted again,
Some
weren't you?
animal been stood on.
Alright, we'll come back to that, but yeah, he's got the ghillie suit, which plays in pretty well actually at this point. You can't really play the as diligently as you like.
Bye.
Actually, not a bad approach. You don't die doing it, so you get into the water, you can swim across the rest, you don't take that fight. And also, how dare you do that to Mr. Dacia?
We'll see a quick swimmer then. VSS, shotgun in hand, making his way over to the island on military, so he does have plenty of time. But when he lands on the shores, unfortunately, he's also going to be there. One car will be coming across on his bridge as well.
A lot of players moving to this island very early. There's still a lot of room in the north here that they could play from. It will end up being on this side.
He's going to put the car there.
Oh, hot-hit, no! The awkward switch though from solid FPS. He should get that kill. He has the better ground.
Nhảy xương sáo. Như cà tưng.
Good work from the Cloud9 player there, who's currently, I think, well within that top 10 solid FPS. He's one of the better players at that point. But he's still in towards the north, so he's in a decent spot from me, or at least in my eyes. I think he's pretty well set. He's on the plateau just above, well, I guess kind of near Pachinki side. As you can see, there is the plateau between Pachinki and shelter, I guess. But
này vui nha.
Going down on the beach here. And,
bắn nhau rồi.
He's getting dinked up hardly. Panda's taking it to him. You can shoot below that, so you got to be careful. He's going to try and get the headshot, but...
Hết đạn.
No, he forgot to reload. Panda is... Well, there's no other way than putting it. Kind of shitting the bed at this point, but he's going to put the nade out and hope for the best. But the nade's coming back in as well. You've got to move, Dingus can't. What? How has that not killed him? He's still standing. The nade didn't land. The bullets under. But surely, what is going on? How are they not killing each other here?
He's going to go for another grenade. Where is it? Find it.
Cần não á.
No, doesn't. He manages to at least edge him out.
Bị kháng bốc 2 thằng.
That's actually insane. And then all of a sudden another player just walks in. Okay, boys, you've had your fight now. I'll have a bit. I'll take your cops. He's just sat there this entire time. God, I hate that when someone just sits. I'll wait until this fight's over, and then more than. See, he baited him. If you watch here, see, he baits him, backs off. Oh, so
someone else got
it was Panda wiped both of them.
Yeah, Panda killed Panda. Panda on Panda action, guys.
Sneaky Panda. Stealing
Sneaky
away.
Panda. All right, let's have a little look who's left towards
Đấy,
the north. We've got
thầy thanh niên.
Serenity up there, Flom's up there, solid FPS.
This is interesting.
Battles on the south, yeah. The battle always going down on those rocks is always awkward. Just you get the mountain goats just climbing around, you know what I mean? Drifter gonna be looking for a fight. This is third person in his prime as well. He probably got on full auto.
Đây, gặp nhau nha. Có chuẩn bị có giao tranh nha.
No reason to be pushing or any encouragement. The fact is you just want to get the kill. You want to have this. Because they're still in the north bearing line. Drifter's still up north on the other side of the island. He's not gone down to the middle island, so that's going to be in the back of his mind. He's got to swim soon. He's going to make the move, all of that jazz. And he's just going to wait it out. Wait to hear some steps. Only level 1 as well. Helmet, that is.
We're just trying to feel each other out. See who's going to make the first push. Honestly, this is when he kind of gets a little bit of a nuisance because you don't want to die, you know, especially so early on. We're still in the top 60.
Lại hai đứa chơi nhau, có xe tới nè hả?
Turns around, so he knows someone's coming up behind him. Oh, now he's just shown himself a little bit, so now he's caught a glimpse of where he is.
Yeah, but he's worried about that car around the back. Cake, is that Cake moving in? If it's Cake, I'd like to see Cake.
Do you have it?
We all
M24.
want Cake. Cake, don't you dare be a lie. Don't you dare.
Cake. Thanh niên này nãy bắn em M24 kinh vãi lồn luôn nè. Thanh niên chuẩn bị vô ăn thôi.
Hayes has absolute garbo loot, but he has got himself an AKM now, which is nice.
I like how he's pre-packing for the sniper as well. You got the flash hider in there, you got the cheek pads. So as soon as he finds anything, an SKS or a CAD anti-A, he's laughing. He's going to get that loaded. The question is, did he have a scope? I didn't actually see if he had a 4x or anything in there. I mean, you can shoot with an iron sight, but my God, it's an appalling situation to try and do so if you're trying to get a kill from it. Oh look, these two are still doing nothing. Let's move on from these guys. They're going to be here for a while. We'll try and find someone else who's actually got an engagement. Let's take a look at the map.
What game mode I prefer, you know, out of all the perspectives. There's one that I just like a little more than the other. There are benefits to both, all right? He's been spotted. Drifter needs to be careful. He's kind of like... He's exposed this complete northern side. Oh, lordy. Oh, no, he's got to this spawn island. He's halfway back. So he's medic to save his damn life right now. He's going through it all. I don't know how much meds he has. I haven't seen his full... Stop, look. Can we not look at these guys? Just to punish them. I want to punish them for playing like this. How dare they? And they've literally just traded positions. Oh, mother of God.
Give us the map. We'll take the map. Yes. Give us the map. Come on. They're not going to do anything else.
No, Drifter actually might be able to get around.
LG on LG. We'll just see J2P take out his teammate Chips. Shaka on
They actually might get a kill now if they move. Drifter's going to be making the move. If he checks to his right, he will probably see the player. I might have put a glimpse on the broken wall here.
Ôi, gặp nhau nha. Ui.
Finally, Drifter gets a kill. He went on the long way around. He does win that fight. I just saw Moondai just flop away. Hello. But yeah, the loot's all his. It's not great loot, to be fair.
The bigger question is, when you go in here, you now have to ask yourself, was it worth it? Yeah. And I don't think that was.
He's got a level 2 helmet that he should pick up. Please, Drifter.
Come on, man. He did a video on helmets. Come on. Take a word of your own advice, pal.
See, these are the mistakes that happen in these environments, right? Like, at the end of the day, you make mistakes, you forget things, you kind of lose out on some of the stuff that you do, by second nature. Normally, this is a big difference here. Again, we'll see how this plans out. You're going to see the crunch coming towards the northern side of this.
Bắt đầu dồn vô military rồi đó.
I will always call it Millie. I know that upsets some people, but Lex and Flom having a fight. That's the teammates kicking off against each other, and they're not in the safe zone either. They're still in the north, so that could be a fun one to keep eyes on in the future. And this is the replay of the people who love third person, just as much as me. And again, just again and again, I'd love to have a glimpse towards Flom and Lex if they're still fighting it out, because they're going to be very close and they both have that horrible opportunity now to work their way back in. I doubt these two are going to have much of a fight here.
No, they're going to stay passive for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So if we could see them, I don't know if they're even still alive. We're going to be seeing, that's Lex, so maybe he's won the fight, and that is Flom. Here we go, teammates against teammates.
Lex.
Which CS player is better, but how many nades have fallen back on you? He's got the UMP
close. Gặp nhau rồi.
He wants to fight, he's aggressive. Vector against UMP, the pack comes in.
UMP
there
đang.
it is, Lex dominates his teammate Flom. the aggressive player, and I love it. That's what you want to see. That's what I like in these CS players. They will take those fights. They will charge. They want that peeker's advantage, a theory, an application of how you play mechanically in games that works out. But how's Hollywood been getting on? We're down to 56 now. He was suffering. He had very low tier loot, but oh, he spotted something. The mountain kicks in. It's like in Skyrim, if you just spam jump on the horse, it just takes you.
Dễ chết lắm nha. Khúc này dễ chết lắm nha.
It's doing the same. Oh.
If we go back to Flex for a second, when you were talking, when you run about it, Lawrence.
Wait. How much HP? Did you not lose HP?
Phải cái thính rớt cái này.
That's gonna hurt. Excuse me.
Ollie, how are you? He's a
man of steel.
He's a wizard, Harry.
Just really quickly about Flex though, with that initial grenade onto Flom, it does.
Thính là Goza nhá.
Worry when that grenade comes in, you're like, oh crap. What do I do next? But I loved it. Throw the grenade in, then following it up with a charge, hard scope in, wait for the person to kind of scare themselves. Fair enough. Both players took a hell of a lot of damage. I think it's the kill coming in from elsewhere as well across the map.
Team này là của Nhật.
It's just real slow-mo. It's like the Baywatch run, you know what I mean? Just, woof. There's Hollywood. So he's got himself the Groza now. So he's gone from 0 to hero at this point. He's in a nice position, but there's another player up on this hill. It's Oshi7, and he's got the high ground. He could completely destroy Ollie if he spots him out at the right time. But I don't know if he knows he's there.
He has to kill him because this is a scenario.
Oh God, don't drop down that side, please, Oshi.
This is a scenario like Cake. Because of the gun that Ollie's got, if he turns around with that Groza...
You don't win that fight at that range.
You shouldn't do, but if he potatoes it, there's a chance.
Nah,
there's
not
a chance.
having it.
No,
I'm not a believer.
I didn't realise it was that far down. He's out of it.
Có khi nào thì nhảy xuống cái chết đâu trời.
Maybe not liking it, maybe not fancying the odds, maybe just feeling uncomfortable in how it's playing out. But he might spot Ollie. That's the thing. For a player who comes from Armor and DayZ, the mechanic of using the third-person camera to always look around, basically holding down like Alt and looking around you, that is something you need to be doing. So to break in the meantime,
Frag lại giết người. Phải có Frag.
You need to be hyper aware of this. You used to have the shortcut on like KP 3, 9, 7, and 1 to be able to do those looks to the specific positions. He should be doing that more. He should be looking over, especially at the drop. You should always be aware in this game. Like how many times it's like, I wish I was a little bit more focused on that 1 second. Those are the moments you win and lose games.
Cross level 3, level 2, level 2. Pretty tanked up. We got an M4 and we got an UMP as well. Move across to Evermore. The Evermore, I want to say, very strange player, but you know what? It has been these tactics, these different tactics have played out for him. This time round, he's staying alive. He's moving on into the circle now. It's time to get your foot on the ground, which is what he wants to do. But using this boat, he's going to get it at the back and then work his way in. Scoom does have to get tanked up. He's going to throw some Red Bull down his neck and try and stay alive. Molman's out, and unfortunately, in the ocean, in no man's land, so you got to hope to high hell that he does have a lot of meds to get him through, to get him stimmed up. Scoom on the outskirts can make his way in, but unfortunately, there are a lot of people between him and that circle, so he needs to be careful. But he does have a silence. He doesn't, excuse me. This is going to be silenced SKS. Silenced Doozy as well.
And he's in the blue. We know he loves this play.
He enjoys it, doesn't
he? And hopefully, you know, Vicstar doesn't just write a nice little diss track on him after he got that kill. It's all good though. He's going to be working his way in eventually. Again, I'm not too worried about Break. He's got good management, but the problem is there's a lot of players in that area still who could just ruin his plan, right? We still have the fight going down on the bridge here. Serenity and Killer Kapowski are going to have a little battle if they do commit to that sort of peak. But you're seeing everything now. And Evermore as well, as much as, you know, people will be like, oh, you know, everyone's going to be doing this. Like, let's be honest, how many of you saw Summit doing this at the very start of the game? And this is actually one of my favorite positions that Serenity's in that's not often used on the bridge. Because you get 360 cover, right? I don't like her being this committed to the rock because you can't fall back without jumping. But there's this little plateau behind it that you get lovely cover on all sides. So she can kind of stay in this spot until forced to move, but she's committing to this side of the island, which could be an issue.
Yes, took the words out of my mouth. My only problem with it is when that circle comes in, if it goes at the complete opposite side of Millie, she has to pedal it, she has to get through the water, she has to swim quite literally for her life, because that will do, this far on in the game, these circles, they hit like a tank, and it's going to do so much damage. Moving across now to, who's this going to be? Moondie, still outside, but not far off the circle. He's moved his way over to Millie. We've got an M16, we've got a shotgun in hand. JP2, after taking down his teammate, now finally makes his way down. He does have a car. Pray to God that doesn't run out of petrol, because he still has a lot of ground to cover.
And you can see, if you look at all the players by the bridge, they're all just slowly kind of moving slightly further south. And there's the...
Thanh niên mà nãy mặc MK14 bộ đồ cây đã bị chết.
Yeah, he's still healing. He's got a lot of healing to do. And is this Oshi7? Yeah. Oh Lord.
Only 7 thì phải.
waiting on. I'm kind of curious if it is. No, that's a different player, but he's got high ground. But the problem is that it's very
hard to
traverse this area. Words are quite tricky. And a car 98 is always dangerous because you're just peeking with your head. You're
what the fuck, bắn kinh vãi.
You just got punished, and a lovely shot. You had one chance to hit it, and he did. The car 98 just absolutely rips his head off.
Damn, son.
Damn, son.
Disgusting. What a shot. Pings him right between the eyes. Oshi will fall up on the rocks. Now the problem is, if he would have stayed there for a while, once the circle comes in, it's an absolute bugger to aim through because you've got the distillation in front of you, trying to get a headshot. So maybe, I know you mentioned, did he overcommit just a little bit too much? Well, yeah, because he got his face ripped off, fair play. But if he would have waited any longer, he then would have had a problem with the circle as well.
It's more just using, like, yeah, he had to take that fight 100% in my eyes. Oh, look at this battle about to go down. Vista's here, there's a lot of other players around here.
Everyone's safe.
Here we go, you can see the fire coming, full auto spray comes out. Maybe not the TSM.
Dừng lại chơi luôn, đúng rồi.
You know he's pretty good. He's got the suppressor too, which is always nice. That might help him because there's a lot of players in those buildings next. Another player's arrived. What is this party going on here?
Everyone's
có xe tới kìa.
So Valilo's going to heal himself up as well. He's got coverage behind the tree, but Ollie is behind him. Of the buggy that he's in and look down the hill, he's going to be in all sorts of problems. 1, 2, 3, 4 players in this small pocket. There's another player turning up as well.
4 người vô trong đây hả?
On the buggies and everyone's just getting stuck in because this circle is starting to converge. 20 seconds and that will be moving. He's still got eyes on the prize though. This is not going to move, and he's also not going to poke as well.
Nhà chút xíu 4 thằng.
We just exactly saw what happens when you poke, and of course you don't land the shot.
So, as I said, going back to that point in a moment, once we, I don't think this is going to commit to this too much until he has to, or he sees an opportunity. Point being, you've got third person.
Chạy rồi.
What are you up to?
Ui, sao chạy kỳ vậy?
Questionable, unless he belted his tires out, but he's still just a
lỗi rồi.
I have no cover. Allow me to present myself. Just, you know, that's a move.
Take it.
Use me for what you want. Smack, though, being, I guess, tempted to this. There's nowhere more open.
He can do what one of the other players did previous, though. He can quite easily loot this. Well, I say easily. He's literally on a frigging runway. There's no cover whatsoever. But if he does loot it, he can fall back to the plane and then use it as bait. Bait that thing up, wait for somebody to walk over to it, bang, take him down. He's pre-smoking. I like this player. Get involved, get inside. He's bobbing, weaving left and right. Just making
sure xem như còn sống 3 người luôn á.
Let's see what he gets. Is it worth the time?
Được gì đây, được gì đây. Cô ra nữa.
I think I just saw coming in, syringe as well.
So the adrenaline syringe is nice.
He doesn't have much range though, so he might have to put the M16 to be the range gun. He might have just swapped over his crosshair. To be fair, I wasn't certain if he did put the scope over. What has he got? So 4 times. That's fine. Yeah. So he's going to try and balance himself out, and that's a really nice idea from Smack. Because this area does generally favour range. You don't get close quarters on this side. Again though, Zaquisha there taking the swim.
The best mustache I've ever seen.
It is pretty fabulous.
It's incredible. Well, I can imagine a lot of Dr. Disrespectful fans will disagree with that comment, but either way, mustaches on streamers are an amazing thing. Going to try and get himself across this wall. One player falls right in front of him, in fact, and I believe there's another person waiting for him. So as soon as he gets on, in fact, he's right next to him.
Problem is the double damage now coming through. Both these players are kind of in an awkward predicament. The double damage comes in and you can't heal. Not anymore. The update came through. You got to keep going, Squishy. You can't. I don't know if Andy knows who's ahead of him either. So I'm not sure how this is going to unfold. You might be able to take one with you. You might just want to heal. Both players are now stuck in a horrible predicament.
I don't think Andy knows. Unless he's
Andy doesn't. Squishy can just be the bringer of doom. He's going to probably die himself if he takes this fight.
No.
Andy has no idea. Oh no, maybe he's seen him. Get into the boat. Get into the boat and take the fight. Don't drive the boat. Go to the other seat.
Không thấy.
He can heal as well now. He dives back in the water like a madman, but he's got the swim on. And there it is. That is one way to not want to remember this game going down, as he just got completely ruined from the water.
Amazing, amazing work. I mean, he played it very, very passive. I was quite worried. In fact, just so you know as well, on the top we've got.
Trời ai mà giờ còn bên kia kìa.
These 2 guys are still outside the zone. Will he get in there on that car? I'm just keeping focused on that. We'll see if one of them does drop.
Chappie might need that car too.
That's probably why he wants to kill him.
Yeah, and this is the open fields towards the southern west side of the military island. A lot of small, smoother hills. There's very limited terrain to play in. Or a peak there. That's deadly against an 8 times, but lost aiming, living up to his name.
Nghe đầu.
Sitters and having to fall back to meta.
Lots amin.
He will indeed. Get himself back to full health. Is he ever going to another peak? No, he's not. He's going to take the stims. Meanwhile, Molman's just going to stand his ground and let him take this peak. You peek out, bro. I've got your number covered. He's going to have damage as well on that helmet. Still looking, both still peeking left and right.
Ui rồi.
Bang, bang. Unfortunately,
Ngay đầu không, bắn ngay đầu không kinh quá.
This were me, for example, I'm not a great player, but that would have been a good opportunity to maybe move. You've done so much damage to him. You forced him, you know, they forced the rock. He's going to hide there. But
look,
now
it's
playing
fight. Chicken, all right? They're playing chicken because the Blue's about to move in, and both of them are screws each other. But Lost Aiming has cover to move to the right.
Bò vô. Hai anh em một trong hai anh em cũng phải chết à.
But full stim comes in, and here comes the game of chicken unfolding. Who will move first? Who's willing to take the fight?
Nào di chuyển trước, đó chết á.
He's toying with it. He wants a bit of this. He's begging for the opponent to peek out and make the play, make it happen.
I really want to run.
They literally both players sat there just doing, okay, smoke comes in. They may not use it. Lost Aiming is going to give him a chance to move as well at this point, but they both got to go. They're quite far out of the next circle as well. First smoke plumes, waiting on the second. Smack there. Managed to take down Cat, who's one of the early players to get to the military island. I think in the meantime we actually did lose out on Break as well. He's been knocked down. I'm not sure who managed to kill him, but here it comes. The Meds still come through. Lost Aiming is in a far greater position, it seems, with Meds. And here comes the move from Moleman. He's going to start moving. Please get back to them. Please, I beg of you. Here it is. The single fire comes down. Nice work from him. And Moleman dies to the play zone.
Chết rồi. Chạy đi.
Getting the kill. He did enough damage. That means he now needs to run.
Nào di chuyển trước cho nó chết hết chưa?
Ollie takes out Panda, and then Stylish Noob comes in, takes out Solid FPS. Smack dies outside the play zone. We're now into our top 25. Kirby Lava also on the play zone. This is the damage is insane.
Alright, play zone is killing the hell out of people. People are too scared to move. They're taking bad fights. We're down to 23 players now. This is good positioning from Sequisha, but oh my god, this player in that house. They have to commit to the blue if they want to get out of it. He's going to see them. He doesn't need this fight, but he wants it. A man with a mustache that
sau lưng kìa anh ơi.
He's a brave man. He's going to spot the back. He can take this for free. He knows it as well. He's just going to take his time at the peak, spots him out, sees him medding. Why you deliver these shots? Please stop jumping. You don't need to.
Ôi, bắn cái gì vậy trời?
Sequisha, please.
Back off, man.
What the fuck?
Back off a little bit. Give yourself some more room. Has now allowed that player just to belt on out. I tell you what, if this comes back to Hornet, this is going to be brutal. No, it doesn't.
Thank Christ for that. All right, so you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
The good thing about getting that kill is his position perpendicular to the next circle. He's at the bottom end of it, so it's going to move slowly. That obviously, when you see the gap on the circle,
bắn cái này chết rồi.
You can outrun some of these circles.
Rồi, thanh niên này chết chắc luôn rồi.
You won't be able to do it, but on this backside where he is, it's going to be fine.
Lại cái Evermore.
Meanwhile, Evermore's chilling. I mean, why not?
Oh, sao quá thiếu vậy?
That would be quite funny.
No, he's still medic.
But is he stuck in there?
Quán quân gián 2 đã lên đường.
Evermore, you are a funny human being.
That's rip. Oh, but look at all the players dying though. Hayes takes out Viz.
If he just stays alive, he is earning points by being in this position. All right, we'll leave him to just slowly
sống càng lâu kiếm điểm càng nhiều mà.
Ninja being the king of this one. Players left, right, and center. He's got himself a bit of cover, but he's going to hear the players starting to move in. He's going to know they're going to be close by. He's got the Scar with him. He's got the UMP flashbang. He's well geared. Drassel finding Daz there. There's the bigger team starting to come into the action. 12 players remain.
K98 as well in play, so he needs to be extremely careful. He knows one player is around the corner. He's just trying to get the peek to see if he can catch any glimpse of them.
Ninja.
Sure he knows exactly where they
are. Bắn cũng kinh lắm nè.
In play as well as they move around the players, unless they have died that we didn't actually catch down in the kill feed. But just look at that circle. Everyone's starting to move around. Another player's moving in with the car down at the bottom end. That's going to be NPR taking out Drassel. Unreal takes out NPR as well. Now we're into the top 10. That's on an explosion as well. So he blew up the car. Unreal gets a double, takes out Chappie as well. 2 in a row. Top 9.
Yeah, this is getting interesting now. We're going to see the running coming out from Ollie. This is a better game from him, better positioning as well. The Darcy is still in play, and the burning cars provide a bit of cover here as well. This is Unroot playing it through. ×8 available. He's well saved. Why does he still have an SK-12 with a 4 times on it? What are you doing? How is this guy still in this one? We've gone for the booty shot, apparently. Not sure if that's the one. Evermore finally dies, but he does manage to finish top 10. That's mad. All right. Let's see. Safety of the circle here for Yoon. He can loot for a little bit. He's got himself a Car 98, a brilliant upgrade, but it's in the north. This is the action. Let's sit on board with Sequisha. I gave him a little bit of grief before. Maybe he's going to prove me wrong. Maybe he can be a game changer. You can see how scared they are to move away from this edge of the circle. And this could be all over for one player in the open. Oh my word, here it is. This should be an easy kill at times. Car 98, is that the gun you're using? Maybe go back to something.
Chạy anh ơi, đừng thắng lại anh ơi. Ui, bắn.
It's buying him time. But now
này thì bắn không trúng.
And Sequisha is in trouble. careful.
Yeah, he should have definitely had his other weapon out, ready to rock and roll. You've got to believe that's an M4, and I think he's got a stock on it as well. You should be using that, my man. Just shoot him down and rip him a new one. Still 8
Ê, bon 8 người nè, chuẩn bị giao tranh lớn chuẩn bị diễn ra.
Inside that little shed, hoping someone makes an advancement upwards to him. But look at that circle.
Wait, who is Hayes right next to? There's a player literally beside him who might just get a drop on him here. Level 1 helmet could be the death of Hayes at this point. Somehow, look on the minimap. You can see it right near each other.
Oh,
Ollie against Hayes. Oh, and the pan soaks up so much of the damage. You heard those pings going through.
Đây là Hayes.
To go for the revive. Well, the heal, and he knows it. Ollie's going to try and punish this. Keep him guessing. Keep him on his toes. Ollie, why is that pan giving to the
Ui.
The Groza comes in. Ollie takes down Hayes, but he
Cũng
has
chết
to
rồi bò à.
run. And Ollie gets taken down in the meantime. I'm pretty sure he just got found. Ninja's still the king of the hill. He's still on the top here. And this is about to get messy.
Will he find the player that has got one right in front of him and he's lining? Yes, he does. Ninja takes him down. This is Ninja's time. Sakisha finally comes in with a headshot with the cat. Ninja takes down another one as well. That's one.
Ninja có thể nhất nha.
Ninja surely is going to win this. He's got such a good drop. They're both in another fight with each other. There's the bushworking. What? Ninja, you potato, hit the shot. He lands it eventually. Nerves coming in, but does he know about Sakisha? No, the drop's there. Ninja now in trouble. He's in the fight. They just killed the guy in. Sakisha on the side. Nades galore. They're about to exchange on this one. One to the left, one to the right. Sakisha, don't you hold on to that too long. It forces Ninja out, but not too far. Not far enough, and Sakisha is going to make the move. HP is dwindling for Ninja. He knows it. He's playing the third person. Oh, Sakisha!
Oh, Ninja chết rồi.
He's got himself into the top 2 here. That is what you want to see. Aggression, smart play, and using everything you have.
But the bigger question is, will the other player that's heard all this going down understand that these players are now weak? There's only one left. It's a one-on-one scenario. We're looking through. I'm hearing the bullets. I'm hearing pings. He knows exactly where he is. Sakisha's, unfortunately, between a rock and a hard place, needs to get these Red Bulls off urgently, which is exactly what he's doing. Yuru knows exactly where this player is. He's tagged him up so much, and he does, of course, have the height advantage.
20 seconds.
But he's still...
Ở đây, ai đấu trí chức ngon nha. Thằng kia là trong bo đó.
The tree in front will allow him one step. If
you
choose too soon, Sakisha's going to have a chance, but it's going to be limited. He needs to make his move right about now. 10 seconds remains. The 1v1 begins. Sakisha works his way up.
Khô máu, chuẩn bị khô máu diễn ra.
Not a bad idea. He's running around the circle. He's going to be the second to the fight here. He's got decent armor still on him. He's still okay on this. He's flanking him.
Ui, di chuyển. Ôi, cô di chuyển kìa. Hay quá.
Be incredible. He's got the drop, but does he have the shot? The first tag comes in, the second, but no more. Sakisha on the reload, but the fight's going to happen. He has no cover here either.
Nó di chuyển hay ghê luôn á. Ui, John rút ra giờ nhất gián ba. Ôi, di chuyển vậy mà không ăn luôn. Này như là của Nhật. Hàng.
And to be fair to the guy, he did take down Ninja, who's always one of those higher rated games, and those players, excuse me, but still,
Hàng hay Nhật vậy?
even though he came back in after not having an advantage. Okay, let's watch this.
Siwisha lại di chuyển hay ghê luôn.
This is the full fight. He only had the head. It was down to a low amount of HP, but still, you could have taken your time. He couldn't reposition to 100% kill percentage. He took that shot and was like, oh god, now I'm in a fight, right? It's that panic, but Yunru kept his cool. He kept calm, he turned it, he even got the first hit, readjusted slightly, used the high ground, used the advantage, and nailed and delivered the shot. So credit where it's due, saying calm under pressure clearly works out.
Oh.
Di chuyển hay quá. Mà có điều bắn không được. Evermore dẫn nhất bảng. TSM Rack hết sướng hạng 3.
On the side of the rocks, Evermore is your grand champion of our first solos event here at the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Gamescom Invitational. Congratulations to that man. That's insane.
I don't know what to say. All right.
If he wouldn't have kept himself alive and just gave in, he would have lost it. That's very smart play, staying alive. So that man is going to walk away with $15,000. GG.
Credit, at least in my eyes, is where it's due, is to Break and Hayes. They provided great deals of entertainment for me. Hollywood was consistently there. Certainly, Sequisha had a great game in the last matchup. Obviously, a little awkward at the very end, but he certainly pulled his weight, getting some kills on the board. Ollie, a lot of kills, sadly for him. Not a lot of higher tier finishes. I think that's where it kind of let him down on that one. But for me, Break played the game that I like to see. So did Hayes. So did Scoom, so did Shaka, all these guys.
Chắc ngày mai mình sẽ tổng hợp mấy cái list nãy giờ giải đang bắn, giải solo bắn.
He got that first place. It doesn't matter how you do it. You may not like it, you may not appreciate it, but he made it happen. So
toàn hay là bắn kinh vãi.
He is the one to walk away in that first spot for today.
So 2 players from the same team, Evermore and Yuru for Entro will come out. Take 2 victories out of 3. Now the bigger question is, what's more worrying? 1, does this set a bit of a tone moving into the squads? 2,
you can't do
those players. The question is, are those 2 teammates when we look at duos? That's interesting.
Look, I love a good quirky play. All right, yeah. I will give you that. Look, I don't like the people who themselves bubbly or quirky. No one likes those people, but I'll give you in solos it can work. You cannot do the same with 4 players. There are similar cheesy ways to play it out, but you can't do the cheese to win. All right, I'll give him a lot of credit in the way he played, going to the the spawn island, coming back in. It's a very, very viable aspect of the game. For me, I don't like to see that in anything more. Like, what are you going to do? Put 4 players with that many meds into the cliffs like that and try and stay alive? It doesn't work. Not enough loot to go around. So again, won't apply into the higher tier games, at least in the squads when it goes up to that many players. But overall, I have to say today has been outstanding.
It has. It's been chaos. It's been madness. It's been intense. There has been some questionable players, but there's also been some absolute phenomenal players. We think back to Cake with that M24. You get 1 shot, you give him a chance, the man nails it every single time. 3 bullets, 3 headshots in a row. And just generally, the players that we've seen today, you saw initially Break just coming out, setting the standard, getting the kills, but also showing that, fair enough, even though you're getting the kills, in solos, doesn't really matter. It's all about the W, it's all about where you finish at the end when that game goes off. Now, I believe we are getting an interview ready with the winners.
Looks like a good top 3 there.
Yeah, I'm looking at this and it looks like a good top 3 indeed. But it was a good top 5, 6, 7. Yeah. There was some solid players up there.
So, as much as people like to say, oh, the game's RNG based, well, we've seen a consistently good top 10.
Yes.
That's the thing for me. It's been a consistent good top 10, and I think that can only get better in the first person, the duos, and the squads down the line.
This is incredible. This is incredible. I'm sure Break subs and they're just going wild in the chat, throwing a ball. Honestly, he does have some of the best and most.
Hình như đó là top 3 nè, Fresh, Evermore với gì á, 3 thằng top 3 ngày hôm nay đang phỏng vấn hả?
All week long. Remember, just to remind ourselves again at home, tomorrow we move into duos. After that,
ngày mai là thể thức duo nha các bạn.
First person. That's gonna be intense. Make sure you're tuning in for that one, and then on Saturday we crown our winners. We crown our major champions of the squads as all these teams, they go head to head, 4-person teams. This is where you start to get the team, the real strategies, and more of the different things will begin to unfold. We're going to see storylines progressing throughout the week, but for now, guys, I'm going to throw it down to the floor. Cameron is with your winners. Gentlemen, take it away.
Ok, đây là 3 người đã đứng top 3 của giải solo ngày hôm nay. Đây là Liquid Haze, là huy chương đồng. Cái chảo đồng.
Okay, yes. Now we do have the second place as well. This one goes to our favorite on the desk, TSM Break.
Second là
by Mr. Joe.
Second là TSM Break. Okay.
And then, of course, our illustrious winner, who gets the gold pan, it is gonna be Evermore. who I'm going to have another winners interview at the end as well. Oh, show off the prizes, yes. Very nice trophies. Big fan. No, but before we end the day right now, I'm going to have another winners interview with Mr.
Ok, vậy là giải hôm nay đã hết.
Thank you guys, congratulations.
Ngày mai cũng sẽ bắt đầu vào 11 giờ. Thách thức đua không? Rồi, tạm biệt các bạn. Ngày mai hẹn các bạn vào 11 giờ ngày mai. Tạm biệt.